Fight!
Hello! Wow, we've got a great setup here. Look at that, amazing. Hello?
Hi, Ben.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Let's put these
Are we
cameras
live?
on. We are live.
That's the worst opening we've ever done.
I cannot believe this. This is.
It took quite.
I will pay €15 a month to go back to the way things were.
Oh. Well,
No, you won't.
no, you won't.
I won't.
From your YouTube money, are you? Do you guys fancy turning on your cameras?
What do you want me to do, Ben?
Wait. Let me just say something. Discord is the worst, sir. I cannot believe there's no competition.
There we are. Discord is the best now, don't you know? Oh look,
Still
we're
don't
all
really understand what Discord is.
Discord.
No, it's
it's
not. Discord is.
Skype for cool people. There we go. Look at that.
It's a fucking nightmare. I hate it.
I need to
I
adjust all
hate
these.
it.
Yeah, let me. Whilst it's working, right, here we go. So it's. Hello, everybody.
Are we gonna restart? What's
No,
happening?
we'll just leave you on there like that. Make it look really unprofessional. How have you been? Welcome. This is Click Click Play episode 80. Took us 80 episodes and we still it's still all messed up. How have you guys been? Jordan, how have you been? There's a better direct.
I'm okay, yeah. I'm all right. How are you, Ben?
Doing very well, yeah. While I'm quickly cropping this image.
Oh, I see. You pass it over to me so you can do things. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
What
Yeah.
have you been up? You've been doing stuff, Jordan.
I'm good. So last weekend, me and Rob, who sometimes, well, he's been on the show before actually. Me and Rob and his girlfriend actually went to EGX in Birmingham, England.
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
That's unfortunate. With the
Which
boys in the Gordix, baby.
You're right.
Did you might go to
Not
people
Leeds,
like?
actually.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
For a baby. With all the
yeah.
boys in the Gording.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I saw some video games. No, it was good. He was in the NEC's big kind of conference hall. There's a lot of games there that are already out. There were a lot of like indie games that are either in development or kind of have just been released. But there were also some things which are not out yet, such as Super Smash Brothers, which I got to play, which was unexpected. I didn't expect to play that day, and obviously I won 2 rounds. I'm happy with. I was really worried because we were in the queue for like maybe 15 minutes to play it, and they would like it was for me it's the worst. As somebody that really likes playing Smash Brothers, it was the worst setup possible because it's like 4 versus 4 items on a small screen, and just like random level select. But I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna win anyway. Like no one's gonna be able to beat me. And then there was 3 of us, and then suddenly this guy cuts the queue, and like clearly he's like he must be like either media or. And then my brain was like, wait a minute, what if he's a Smash professional player? And I'm about to get my fucking ass handed to me, but then no, I beat him. Beat him easy.
Who was he?
I have no idea. I didn't want to ask.
Yeah. Who do you think you are?
Who the fuck do you think you are? I just queued for 15 minutes to play this.
Yeah.
But it was just a shit show. Like my friend's girlfriend that was with me, she hasn't really played Smash before, and she's like, I have no idea what that was about. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, because it's 4-player, items on, both rounds, small stages were picked. So it was just an absolute mess. But the game felt good, and I can't wait for it to come out so I can just play like 1 versus 1 online.
Yeah.
Final
With no
destination,
items.
No items. Absolutely no items. No.
What do the items do? I've never played it apart from maybe like an hour of the old one.
There's just a ridiculous amount of weird Easter eggy type items from various video games, whether it be from video games that you got characters featured in the game or just wider kind of video game stuff. For instance, a Pokeball will appear and you can throw it and you can imagine what happens then. A Pokemon comes out and fucks everybody up. There's bombs from Mario. There's loads like laser guns, swords, and then just like some random weird stuff that you won't even recognize what it is, and you're probably not sure what it's going to do when you pick it up or throw it, or like health items and stuff like that. But the purist, the real man or woman, will play no items.
Real gamer.
The real gamer.
Yeah. So it
No
feels
emotes
smooth.
either.
Does it feel better than the one on the Wii U?
That's the frustrating thing. Kind of difficult for me to say definitively, just because it was such a shit. Like, and the other thing was like I'll always play Smash with lives, like stock, whereas this was like 2 minutes rounds, which I get because that is the traditional Smash Brothers way to play. But it was just a rush. Like it was 2 rounds of 2 minutes. Couldn't really work out what was going on, but it did feel nice. There was a nice bit of weight to the character. It felt fast. It didn't necessarily feel like Melee. Probably the closest is probably the last one, which is no surprise really. But I think the last one felt fine, and this one felt a little bit better to me. And they haven't completely nerfed Link either, so I'm good to carry on as being a coward and just playing Link because that's the only character I've ever played.
Yeah, sounds fun. Sounds like a cool Tekken.
Do you know what else was there? Dreams.
Oh yeah, what? Everyone seems really impressed whenever they play it.
Yeah, it was just like they had loads and loads of booths set up for it, and it was so interesting to watch. The lady was like, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "No, I just want to watch people play this." And like you, clearly, like the levels they were playing were ones that Media Molecule had kind of created within the engine.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just such a diversity. Like, look, I was looking at 10 screens, and not a single one of them looked the same. It went from like text game adventures to something that looked like, on a surface level at least, Elite Dangerous.
Wow.
Like just the difference in what it looks like you can make with that game is astonishing. And I'm more interested really in seeing how they make that tangible for people that don't have coding experience. Like what do the tools actually look like? Because Little Big Planet was a different beast really. It was all pretty much 2D side scrolling stuff, and you kind of designed it with similar mechanics to how you'd play the game, whereas this it's so much deeper. I'd be interested to see how exactly that stuff works.
Yeah, I've no idea. Someone said it's like a front for some kind of code. It's just like an easy interface for coding. It'll be interesting to see how they... Do you play any other games? Do you play any Fortnite? Because I bet people were queuing up for hours to play a game of Fortnite at that show.
Do you know what? Like the two biggest areas there were for... like PlayStation had a big area, but a lot of that was Fortnite. And Destiny 2. People were queuing up to play fucking Destiny 2.
Oh, did somebody say Destiny 2?
I'm like... You guys know this game is out, right? You can go and fucking play it at home. Don't go to Birmingham and pay to get in and then queue. You're crazy. Go play it at home, you weird bastards. But yeah. Loads of little.
I think they get an emblem if you play it.
Playing Fortnite.
Yeah, I think Destiny 2 is you get an emblem if you play it there. This exclusive emblem, but it's not exclusive if everybody, because you get it whenever you go and play Destiny 2 at any of these events.
Yeah. I managed to get a cool Kojima Games hoodie, which I'm happy with. Ooh. I'm rocking that a lot at the moment.
Can we see?
Sorry,
is that what you're wearing now?
No. I'm wearing a top with like a tropical.
What are you wearing?
On it.
Yeah. It's turned into the red carpet.
And what else did I see? There was a Bloodborne talk there, which was unexpected, but I sat down for 10 minutes of that. That was fun.
Oh, they're talking about, isn't Bloodborne amazing? Yeah, it is amazing. What do you think? I think it's amazing. Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Pretty much.
Patting each other on the back.
It was like, I'm guessing that, because EGX, I'm guessing is Eurogamer, right? Like that's the Eurogamer people who would kind of put it together. It seems like it's spun off a little bit. But,
yeah, but apparently it's not Eurogamer anymore, and they dropped the Eurogamer, so it's just EGX, but no one actually... It doesn't stand for anything anymore.
But then the people who were doing, like, on stage and stuff seem to be Eurogamer affiliated.
Really?
I kind of met the Digital Foundry guys.
They're good. Like them.
Yeah, bit of a nerdy moment for me. I was, like, checking out... they had just loads and loads of retro consoles and old-school PCs and stuff, like, all wired up, and you could play them. So I'm, like, fucking around with a Jaguar, Atari Jaguar, playing Alien vs Predator with this disgusting controller, and then suddenly the two Digital Foundry guys were like right next to me, obviously talking in their way, and had some crazy insight on this PC thing I'd never heard of. My friend was like, "Go say hello," and I was like, "I can't."
Too scared. No.
Just gonna leave them to it.
Wow,
that was nice.
Do you meet any other celebrities? See Kojima?
Kojima wasn't there.
No. Oh, what about Sean Layden? Was Sean Layden there?
Sean Layden wasn't there either.
No.
I can make this easier by saying no, I did not meet any of the celebrities. I didn't queue up for any other games either. Was like the only other things I probably would have wanted to see. Assassin's Creed was there, and I know that's out this week anyway, but I was kind of curious to get hands on with that, because I'm still like 70% that I'm gonna love it, 30% like it's going to be released and be a fucking shit shower of glitches. So I just kind of wanted to see that if I could, but they had that hidden away, and if you wanted to queue, you had to queue for ages. And Metro was there as well. Metro had like a really cool area, but again, you had to queue to play it, which is understandable. And I didn't necessarily want to play it. I just wanted to see people playing it, see it live in action, and the way they had the kind of area set up, you couldn't see it. You had to go into like an underground bunker type thing. So that was sad. I played a little bit of Diablo on the Switch and had a row for trying to take a picture to send to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't send a picture, did you?
No, because I had a row for it.
Oh.
Yeah, just what like I nobody, there was no queue for that one. I could just pick up a Switch straight away, and I kind of loaded it up, and the guys all kind of, have you played it before? And I'm like, yeah. I literally said to him, look, I just want to see how it runs. I don't want to play it. And it loaded up, and it seemed to run fine. And I went to take a picture, and then he's like, oh, no, don't. He said, in his words, they're very funny about that. I don't know if that's Nintendo or
it sounds like Nintendo. Yeah, it would be.
Or Blizzard or what, but yeah. So yeah, good fun all in all.
Could have had an exclusive on Click Click Play.
I know, right?
Oh.
No, I think all the videos and stuff are out. It's pretty much a known quantity at this point.
Going with a spy cam next time.
Yeah. And the one other game was really good, which was kind of on my radar anyway. Is that kind of XCOM clone? I think it's one of those things where there's people from the original, or people who love the original.
Do you mean,
original XCOM.
Mario versus Rabbids?
No, not that one. I forget the name now. I did send you a pic of the store, but it's coming out next year. It plays like, the guy was trying to tell me it's not like XCOM, and I was like, look, this is fucking X. I get that you're clearly fans of XCOM, and you kept on slagging off the new XCOM games. By saying saying weird things. Like one of the questions, I was there trying to be like all professional, professional video game media guy.
Did you have Click Click Play?
I was asking a question about when's it coming out, what platforms, and then like the demo that he put me into was a level, and it played exactly like XCOM, and he was telling me about the factions and all this boring stuff, and I said, okay, has it got the kind of base building element of XCOM? And he was like, yeah, you'll be glad to know that's back, because obviously that wasn't in the latest XCOM games. And I didn't say to him, but like, that's totally in that's totally in the XCOM games. So unless I'm missing something on that one, he seemed to be wrong, which is weird considering he's making an XCOM clone. But yeah, it was good. Good fun. Recommended. Yeah, it grows as well. Like, I'm always jealous of Gamescom in Germany. I don't see why Germany gets to have that when the UK is so much better than Germany.
Well, no one will be going there next year after Brexit.
They'll have to come to us.
I to be honest, I'm actually looking to live in Bristol, so that's kind of close to Birmingham.
Yeah, kind of.
So we'll have to go. We'll go in our Click Click Play t-shirts that I'll make.
Yes.
Work. It's part of work.
Cool, I don't know if you guys can see that, but CCP, the guys that make Eve, gave me this stress ball.
Yeah. And do you say, oh wow, you're a fan of Click Click Play?
It didn't dawn on me until I was going home. Like, I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh right, oh, we didn't think that went through."
No, when like about 3 or 4 episodes into the podcast, I remember typing in CCP, and I was like, "Oh, there's a game studio called CCP." This
they make Eve Online.
I was like, "Yeah, of course they make Eve Online."
It's long running and successful MMO. Well, I know.
According to John's friend, what's his name? Don Beagles.
Don Beagles.
Did he go with you?
No, he's too much of a loser. But I did see him on Friday, and he's grown a big bushy fucking beard, so he definitely looks like he plays Eve Online now.
Does he smell like he plays Eve Online?
No, he smells very nice.
Good. King Berserk says we can go to Insomnia next year. Is it Insomnia? Isn't that a club?
Yeah, I don't want to go to Insomnia.
Is that a club?
Yeah. You asking me that question?
Yeah.
The fuck do I know?
I don't know. Is Insomnia a club or a games thing?
It's a classic dance song, isn't it? Insomnia.
Okay, it's a gaming thing.
Oh.
Ooh. There you go. All right, look at you with your branded cup. Okay, our window dressing right now, sitting in his dark, sitting in his down crack den there. Can see the pipe on the floor. Andre, the giant YouTube star.
God, I love that name. I miss hearing you say it. I feel like we haven't done this, but I haven't been on this podcast for like months.
Wait a sec. Andre the Giant YouTube star. Is that okay?
Hey, everybody. Glad to be back.
Yeah, where have
My
you
God.
been?
Hey, guys, I won a video making contest. I made a commercial for a advertisement company, and I won.
Ooh.
First place. First place got $500, which
Was
is
it about video games?
no, nothing
Then
at all. Most
why are
of
you
my
talking
time
about it,
has
Andre?
nothing to do with video
Why are you
games.
talking about it then, Andre? It's nothing to do with the show then, is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk about how your friend smells like he plays Eve Online. Again.
No, go on. You tell me about your video award. What
I
happened?
made a video and I
You
won some money.
don't need to eat your microphone. You can be like,
I made some.
there we go.
I
made some money.
I'm a professional video maker.
I make videos and stuff.
Take
I
a
won,
top up.
I've won 430 euros.
Whoa.
As they say over there.
Why
I
are they
had to
giving you
look it up,
euros?
just so you guys. No, it wasn't euros. I had to
Stronger
look it
than the
up how much
dollar.
$500
All right.
was. You guys are all fucked up. Then I
Wow.
went to go see a bunch of movies. I saw this is my quick movie segment.
Yeah,
of
on the
fucking
gaming
podcast.
podcast, click, play. Here we are.
My entertainment podcast, click, play. Let's just call it that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll call it that.
I saw Mandy,
Mm.
which
Mandy?
was incredible.
Yeah.
The last 30 minutes of that movie is incredible.
The whole
And then I-
fucking 2 hours or whatever it is of that movie is.
Is that the
fucking
Rod
incredible.
Stewart documentary?
I thought the first 30 minutes of that movie were unbearable. I thought that was
Really?
like, yeah, oh my God, it was so bad. I loved, like, once his wife died, spoiler alert,
Spoiler alert.
I think that's where the
You didn't
movie
say
is
spoiler
like,
alert
okay.
before, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a revenge film, isn't it? Like they need to set up like it's not a conventional happy relationship, but they are happy together, so they need to set that up. But
Yeah.
my one criticism of that film is I wish Nicolas Cage wasn't in it. I think he does the film with
It's my criticism about
He does
every
anything
film with Nicolas
bad in
Cage.
it, but it's like the whole conversation around the film is around Nicolas Cage, and I think that film deserves more than that.
I think that film, like, kind of relied on Nicolas Cage being weird.
Like, but is it like what? Is he that weird in it? Like he's just.
I mean, he
kind
does,
of
like, a huge amount of
staunch.
cocaine. And, like,
I do
We-
that. Like that fucking. If they want to pay me a couple of million to snort some fucking cocaine, that's not a problem, you know. Anybody could have done that. I refuse to believe that only Nicolas Cage could have performed that role. I don't believe it.
No, I think Nicolas Cage I think Nicolas Cage is a very bad actor now.
Mm.
Like, the parts where he had to show emotion in that movie were so fucking awkward, weird.
Has he ever
But
shown
whatever.
emotion? I know, like
What's up?
Nicolas Cage. Has he ever shown emotion? He's always like, who's the one in Da Vinci Code? Is that Tom Hanks?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I like him.
man. Shut the fuck up, please.
I was thinking, no, which is the Da Vinci Code style thing with Nicolas Cage?
Oh, National Treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. I love National Treasure.
Okay.
But
Right.
anyways,
So
and then
this
I
is my point. Naturally, now the conversation around Mandy diverges into a conversation about Nicolas Cage's career.
In National
And
Treasure.
I just think as like a weird art house exploitative kind of film, it could do better than that. But at the same time, I bet we wouldn't have watched it if he wasn't in it because that's
Yeah.
where they got the publicity from. So it is what it is.
And then I
Sounds-
saw it's a Western called The Sisters Brothers.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, any good?
I recommend that. I think that's one of the best movies I've seen this year. It is this year's Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's
Wow.
the movie that deserves an Oscar, but probably won't get it because of, I don't know. They'll
It's
find
not
a reason.
diverse enough. Is it a white film?
I didn't say that. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, so that's he's Persian, right? He was a
Isn't he a white man? He was in Prince of Persia. Is that?
yes, he's Persian.
I don't think he's Iranian with that name, but well, okay.
But yeah, incredible movie. Highly recommend it. Other than that, that's all I've been doing. Watching
I've watched-
movies. and just
I've watched some
chilling out.
movies as well. Do you know what movies I've started recently?
Oh no, go on.
Fuck you, Ben.
I started watching Grease.
Let's move on to video games. I really talk about.
I was watching Grease on Netflix with my students, and then all of a sudden Netflix decided to remove all the subtitles for it. So they just sat there, I had no idea what was going on, but they just removed
Surely
the
they know
subtitles.
Grease anyway.
Well, yeah, they should do. But it's like, why watch it you and Danny? And I have no idea what they're saying.
Is
Uh,
Grease not big in Spain? They know like the medley song, surely.
They know about it, but yeah, they have no idea what the story is. Also started watching what's that other really good film? Despicable Me again. We're watching that
Again.
Yeah.
I think that's just
again.
the third time that you've spoken about that film.
Yeah, watching that again. The kids love it. I can't remember the other one. We watched a bit of The Sound of Music, but I'm gonna change that.
Cool.
Normally asks, have Andre talk about his brother's engagement. Do you approve, Andre?
Oh yeah, my brother's getting married. I totally forgot to bring that up. My brother's getting married. Oh, former member of Click Click Play, now shunned member. We don't talk about him anymore.
No.
Moving on.
He's getting married. He proposed to his girlfriend of a few years, I think now, probably like a year and a half. He proposed to her, and they're getting married in August. All of you are invited. All the viewers.
Yay!
Hey, if you're watching, you're invited. Fly down to Florida. Come on down.
When you get married, Andre?
Soon. Soon. I will get married very soon.
Have you got all like the relatives going? Oh, when are you getting married, then, Andre? When are you gonna find a nice girl?
Yeah, because like the second I started dating this new girl, like I called my family. I was like, guys, you're not gonna believe I met some girl, and I'm very happy. And now they're constantly asking about her, which is nice. I mean, they're showing interest, which is good.
Yeah.
Says you're right for talking to your family, you weirdo. What's that about?
Wait, what?
Yeah, families. John, are you not going to tell us how you're now a trendsetter?
Wait, Jordan?
Jordan is
Not
a trendsetter of grey fences, aren't you, Jordan?
Ah, yeah.
Exciting story here.
Is it? Is it though?
Video games podcast, right? We said that earlier?
I just thought it was quite funny.
So when I moved into my house, the fences were like just the standard wooden color, and then my now wife decided to paint them grey, and she's painting them grey. And then the other day we kind of looked out of our attic window, and every other house in the street apart from one had painted their fences the same color. So there's just like 5 houses in a row or 6 houses in a row, all with the same color fence. And you're right, we kicked that off. We are trendsetters, grey fences all the way.
What are you going to do
I
next?
want this podcast to just be dedicated to this talk, to the fence talk.
You're going to have a nice British flag stuck on a pole as well. Get everybody to do that.
I've requested it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bill Paxton says, my family are always asking me if I've gotten over my attraction to 2D girls.
Oh.
Andre's as well. Andre's been playing Fortnite, apparently.
Hey,
Is that a bra size or?
2D.
I ordered food and it's here. I'll be back.
Okay, great.
Fucking hell. Why do you always order food at the time of the podcast?
Jeez. So what was it? Okay, podcast, order food. All right. Nice.
This podcast is kind of like Mandy. It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy. Was it Rod Stewart that goes, oh, Mandy? No. You came and you gave without saying. Yeah, that one.
What's up?
That's not Rod Stewart, is it? Who sings Mandy?
Oh,
Who sings it?
Mandy.
Mhm. Yeah. Before we go into the games
If
we've
only
played.
we had machines in front of us that hold all of the information.
If only. Barry Manilow, that's it.
Ooh, that's him.
Or Westlife also did, yeah. All's
Oh.
rules, hey. Speaking of, before we go into games, yep, go on.
Andre, do you know who Westlife are?
No, I do not.
Okay, cool. Go on, Ben.
Before we go into games we've been playing, I've pre-ordered 3 games.
Right, okay.
3 games, okay. I pre-ordered some really good games. First one, Assassin's Creed, Nasty Cream Origins, Odyssey, that one that's coming out on Tuesday. Going to be playing a bit of that. Looking forward to it.
Well, it doesn't come out on Tuesday, does it? Only for knobheads like you that are paid more money for it.
I know, I was a bit drunk.
But I've been thinking about this. Quite like it for games like this. So games that I'm not 100% sure if I want. It's quite good for you guys to take the bullet and play it for a few days.
Yeah.
And then all the reviews come in, and I get some impressions and stuff, and then potentially I can just cancel mine if it's terrible. So I appreciate it, Ben. Thank you.
No problem. I'll take one for the team. Yeah. So that one's coming out. And yeah, do you know a lot of games are doing that now, and I don't know if I like it or not. Where if you pre-order it, or if you pre-order like the deluxe version, you get it 4 days early. Forza is the same. You could play Forza 2 days ago if you pre-ordered the $100 version.
I think ultimately it's pretty shitty. But
Yeah.
like I'm not one of these to I'm not one of these to lament about business practices and stuff like that. I think it's up to them, and the market will decide whether it's a problem or not. But when we're talking about something which is primarily a single player experience or wholly a single player experience, it does seem a bit odd to just kind of gate it off to a certain amount of the community. Clearly, that game is done and it's ready. I could kind of understand it for something like Division 2. It's almost like a final kind of mini beta to ramp up the servers, isn't it? I kind of get that, but for something like Assassin's Creed, it does seem a little bit exploitative.
It's weird how the reviews are coming out tomorrow, and then the purchase people.
That's the kind of good thing about it from my perspective, because it means you have to get the reviews earlier. Then you can't do the whole reviews day before, because all the outlets will say, well, we'll just pay the 70 quid and start playing it today, you know. Or at least you're gonna get playthroughs and stuff on YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, it's kind of good from that perspective, but overall it is a bit weird. I wouldn't like to see Sony or Nintendo start to do it.
Noam in the chat says, how do I join Click Click Play Crew? I can actually talk about video games. I think that's a hit at you, Jordan, that.
I doubt it.
Also pre-ordered.
What color is your fence? That's
I also pre-ordered the incredible WWE 2K19.
Right.
God, you're a fucking, oh my God, Ben.
No, go on, Ben. So you said you got a good feeling about this one, yeah?
I do, yeah. I had a good feeling about it. No, actually, this year does seem to be.
Is it on Switch?
Yeah, it is on Switch. I didn't pre-order it on Switch, so I pre-ordered on PC. But no, I've started doing it where people who sub to the chat can chain link fans. Wow. People who sub to my channel we put their names and put their faces and people in the universe mode, and we're going to play like that. But also, apparently, a lot of people have been playing it, saying it's very arcadey now. They've got like big head mode and crazy stuff, and it's a lot faster than the kind of grapple simulation that there has been recently in the last few games. So,
see, I would argue that the games have been too fast.
Too what?
Yeah.
Oh, they bored me. The matches were. It's like, oh, gotta grab them like this and then move them into the second hold, and then you can do the move. And
yeah, well, if you look at the best wrestling games, so like the N64 ones and Fire Pro, they're all quite slow paced, aren't they? Like the SmackDown games are now the 2K games.
Super fast.
What's super fast? Sorry, Fire
Pro, yeah, it's insane. It goes like your match finishes in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but in terms of the moves and stuff, it's kind of modeled around the old school like N64 ones, isn't it?
Yeah, like button bashing, but to me, it's really fast. That's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to going, because I like to do a bit of commentary with my sound effects. Where is it? Like, oh my God, he's Tombstone. So I get to mess around with that, and I'm looking forward to doing it with the 2K19, which looks a little slower, but yeah, it looks more fun. Also, the career mode.
Create a character?
I'm going to create a character for everybody that's a sub, including you, Jordan. Who would you like to have your intro as? You got a sub, Andre. Who would you like your intro as, Jordan?
Just make me Triple H.
Yeah, I could make you Triple H. I'm going to be Vince. Okay. I've decided. I'm going to have a suit.
You'll never be Vince McMahon, man. the man god that is Vince McMahon. Emperor.
If I have a really
Mac.
If I have a really successful night, I walk like Vince McMahon.
Okay, moving on.
Third game I pre-ordered is I've forgotten. Oh, Call of Duty Black Ops.
How much money do you have, Ben?
None now. Absolutely none. I'm as broke as I've ever been. So yeah.
We'll talk about that a little later, because I played the Black Ops beta.
I didn't even play that. I said it was good.
We can talk about it now if you want.
Speaking of EVE Online, we've got Eve herself in the chat, Don Beaglers, the God Emperor. Is he talking about Jordan or Vince McMahon? Or me?
Vinnie Mac.
I'll be Linda. All right.
He's on the cover of Muscle and Fitness at like 71. Fucking ripped.
Don?
No, the Don. Vince McMahon.
All right.
Photoshop the fuck out of him, obviously, but still, it's an achievement.
Should we go into games we've been playing? We've talked about it a lot, but let's go into them properly.
Time to play the game. It's all about the game. And how you play it, all about control. And if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. Who's gonna make it?
What games are you playing, you bastards? You Melon wants to be Trish Stratus. You can be Trish Stratus, Melon. She's actually in the new one. Gonna be in. Phil, Andre, we've got a question in the chat. Going straight into games we've been playing. What is the guy on the right eating? Andre, what are you eating?
I'm eating nachos.
Oh,
Nachos and tacos. And I took out a taco and the grease spilt all over my bed, and now I feel gross.
how long have you been in prison, by the way?
17 years, about. I'm serving a life sentence, a double life sentence for murder in Final Fantasy VI, because I'm 70 hours into it.
Great link there. Great segue. Go on, tell us, how is Final Fantasy VI?
It's fantastic. Holy shit. I never beat Final Fantasy VI. I only played it when I was younger. And I'm in love with it. I'm 70 hours in. I think I'm approaching the ending. And it sucks because like I wanted to play that because I heard a lot of direct comparisons to Octopath Traveler. So I was like, oh, okay, like I want to play a game that's similar to that, but like the predecessor. That way I can get into Octopath Traveler. And I don't think Octopath Traveler is going to live up to what Final Fantasy VI is.
No, it won't.
That sucks. I'm not looking forward to that then, because I love each character in that game is so well introduced, and they have such a cool backstory.
You're not gonna have a good time with Octopath then, no.
God damn it!
Give it a bit of time.
I'm fucking myself over with that. I'm 70 hours in.
What are you playing it on?
I'm on an emulator on my phone.
Oh wow!
And it's the Game Boy Advance version.
Which one's coming to Switch? Because 6 is coming to Switch, but which version of it do we know?
I don't think 6 is coming to Switch, is it?
It's not?
It's 7, 9, 10, 10 2, World of Final Fantasy, and Crystal Chronicles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I wanted to play 6 on it. I'll just play 7 and then.
It would be nice to get 6 eventually. I don't know whether we'll get it as part of like Virtual Console or something like that, or whether there'll be a full. I'm sure there's some version that would port over nicely.
I wonder if they're going to be released at the same time or differently. Like then there'll be a new announcements when they announce. Which are the ones that are not? 8 and 6. They're the ones that people have been asking for. They aren't.
Well, it's particularly weird that 8 isn't there, isn't it? Because you've got 7 and 9 and 10.
Yeah,
and they're all, like 7 marks the kind of probably not even the modern era anymore, but certainly the 3D era of Final Fantasy kicks off with 7, and 8 was very much a part of that. And
I'm going to tell you what I would spaff over my screen if they announced Final Fantasy 14 for the Switch. That would be a perfect game to chill at work playing when I'm not working, obviously.
I just wonder how something like that works with like the portability of a Switch and being able to put it quickly into standby.
I mean, you just have to be with somewhere.
As the architecture is, like, just completely crash out, wouldn't you, if you put it into standby?
Yeah, so it'll be like an external launcher.
A little bit.
I'd be up for that if they had the ability to do it.
Yeah. Speaking of online, Jordan, didn't you play Dark Souls on Switch?
Yeah, I tried a little bit of the network test.
Yeah, how was that?
Not a good fit for
really.
Like, yeah. Obviously, it's been delayed. I was reading some post on Reddit the other day where somebody did the kind of homework on it, and assuming that it's right, apparently the Switch version, put it this way, all of the stuff that they did for the remasters for the Xbox, PlayStation, and the update for the PC version, all of that stuff pretty much isn't present in the Switch version. Kind of is what it is. You can accept that, I guess, in terms of obviously the Switch isn't as highly powered, so it pretty much plays like the original version, probably with a more stable frame rate, because the original, especially on PC, really suffered from a frame rate perspective. But it just, like some games, you play it on Switch and you're like, is that going to transfer well to the smaller controls and the small screen, and you're blown away and surprised by games that do work. Some games don't. Dark Souls for me is definitely a game that does not. I just didn't like the way that it felt on that console. I didn't feel like I'd have the kind of precision in the movement that I would need to make it through that game. That's, as everybody knows, that's a really hard game. The network test itself doesn't really give you a part of the campaign. You just you just kind of spawn into a world. It kind of emulates the multiplayer element of Dark Souls, but in a kind of a faster way. So just other players will spawn into that environment and you fight them, which very quickly showed me that I did not like the controls because I just got
Yeah.
absolutely slaughtered on it. So yeah, you know, I'm sure there's definitely positives to the fact you can play it on the go, but for me that it just isn't the way that I would want to play that game, unfortunately.
Well, speaking of bad network tests, I played the Nintendo Online.
Oh, I haven't
And,
bought that yet.
I sadly accidentally left my 7-day trial on too long, so I bought 1 month of it.
Yay!
And my God, like the NES games, I don't care what anyone says, they're bad. All of
Yeah.
these games are bad. Zelda
Soccer.
holds up. Soccer's fucking terrible. Besides Mario 3, which I would argue is like a solid 7 on that scale. Like it's not like that fun. Like that. Actually, no, I give it like an 8. Let's be real. But like every other game on that collection is just boring, and you play it for 30 seconds. You're like, oh well, I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh no, Zelda's so still. Oh, God, man, it makes me so mad that I paid for a month of it. Once they start adding Super Nintendo games, I think then
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy it more, because I don't think the NES era holds up at all. Like I think it's a very shitty nostalgic era for people.
If you want a really good like Zelda clone that'll feed you nostalgia, play Blossom Tales on the Switch.
Oh yeah,
Really good game. And I've never played I don't have any of that nostalgia because I never played Zelda apart from like an hour or two when I was 10 or something, and never really got into it. But that Blossom Tales is really, really good.
it looks. You recommended it to me a while back. I need to check it out.
Yeah, I think you'd really like it. Although I recommended Dead Cells, and you weren't a fan of Dead Cells?
I am not a fan of Dead Cells. I mean, I'm only like 3 hours into it. I stopped playing it after and I went back to try to beat Hollow Knight again. And yeah, I know they're completely different games, but like, I don't like the random aspects of Dead Cells. Like it bothers me. Like anytime like a run just doesn't go like correctly, I'm like, oh well, there's nothing I can do there. Whatever. And it just feels super repetitive, and I feel like people play that game for like 80 hours. I'm like, I can't imagine doing this exact thing for 80 hours. I'm gonna give it another go.
Yeah, for me, it's just like I'll pick it up every now and again. I'm not going to be playing it for 80 hours or so because it does get a bit repetitive. But once you've kind of mastered a bit of the movement and you know how to work it, and you know what certain things can really help you in certain runs. And yeah, I mean, I think I've said before, I was on the plane to Oslo and I was trying to put off any anxiety I had by playing a bit of it, and because I was so concentrated playing it, I managed to get to the final level. It took like 45 minutes or so, but then I got to the final level and I was like, if I die here, I don't really mind so much because it's way further than I've got before. But now I'm really enjoying. Well, after 3 hours, it gets really good. I don't know. I think if you don't like Dead Cells in the first hour, you're probably not gonna like it. It's not.
I'm gonna give it some, because I gave Hollow Knight like 15 hours before I started to like really enjoy it. So I feel like I should do the same thing with this. But you know, a game.
I feel like Hollow Knight probably changes a lot more over the course of time, whereas this Dead Cells is what it is, I think, and you just get gradually better at it. On paper, like I've spoken about on this podcast previously, on paper it's a game that I should love. Everyone was comparing it to Rogue Legacy, which got me really excited. I don't think it's got anything on Rogue Legacy at all. I don't like the movement. I don't like the combat, which for a combat platformer is an issue for me. So I've very much put that down. I won't go back to it.
Yeah. Speaking of things I should have put down, no, I'm kidding. I've been playing Automata,
they said, I think.
Automata.
Yeah.
My God, I beat the first run of that, and now I started the second one. I really like that game. I'm like, even if that was it, even if the first playthrough was it, I'd still be like, that was a fun, entertaining time. It's like a nice 6. You said it was 8 hours. It took me 16.
Oh, I heard it was 8. Okay, maybe it's not that.
Oh yeah, it took me like 16 and a half probably. I was just taking my time. I was trying to level up my character, like level up the weapons, going fishing, every other JRPG.
I've heard that if you do the side quests in the first playthrough, you don't have to do them in the second, or you can't do them in the second. I don't know if that's
really
a true thing.
I don't know that yet. I haven't gotten to.
Yeah.
Like I just exited the beginning aspects of the second run. So
Yeah.
I will let you guys know in 2 fucking weeks once I beat that game.
Don't forget,
yeah.
you're gonna try go all 26 endings.
No, I'm just gonna try to do all the main ones.
Did you eat the
All the-
anchovy?
No, what's that?
I think they give you an anchovy or kipper or something. If
Can
you
you
eat
eat it?
and you get an ending, surprise.
I feel like once I'm like near the end, I'm just gonna like start going through all like the shitty endings that you can do.
What are you playing it on?
Xbox One.
Oh
Xbox
yeah, I
One.
guess it came to that. Yeah, I think that was a
Yeah.
decent port. It's the PC port that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, they it has all the DLC, which is nice. I don't know what that entails since I never played the original.
It's just outfits and stuff. I think there wasn't
Oh,
anything too much.
sweet! I can dress up my sexy Asian robot in even skimpier clothes. I
So
can't
is
wait.
there a nice
boy.
conservative lady outfit?
God, that's so weird. But I love it. I think it's fun. It reminds me a lot of Metal Gear, which is like really bringing me back. Just like the giant robot fights are cool.
Mm.
But yeah, highly recommend that game.
Yeah, it's fun. I like that.
That's all I got.
There's a lot of variety. You know, like even variety from what even you how you look at the screen. Like it just does top down kind of shooter, and then
Yeah.
the next minute you're racing and you're doing a side scrolling like platforming side.
And then
bit.
you're like flying a plane, you're flying like a Gundam, and you're
Yeah.
just like shooting. Like, yeah, that game is insane when it comes to variety, which I really enjoy in a game.
Me too.
That's why I hated Mad Max so much. I will bring back Mad Max as often as I can, but that game is just the same thing from second one to the very end of that game is the same thing.
You finished
Can't
it.
believe
Wow.
I beat it. I finished it just because
You
I'm like,
finished that. Wow.
I know. I was just like, there has to be something else. Like, it will change. Like, eventually, you're probably going to drive like a big car, like a monster truck or something.
I played
Nope.
it for about 6 hours and left thinking, yeah, that's kind of a good game, but I'm guessing
was
after
fine for
6, it
6
just
hours.
yeah, it's way
You know
worse.
what? Oh god, it's just it
Melon
could-
finished it as well.
I pre-ordered that game for £6 on PC, so that should tell you something.
Pre-ordered it.
Pre-ordered that game for £6,
Wow. Was it worth it?
and then played like 30 seconds of it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really fucking generic." They destroyed the character of Mad Max. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna play it.
It was bad.
Well, there'll be that one coming out. What's the one? Rage 2.
Yeah,
You
that
wanna get
looks
your-
like a good Mad Max game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Any other games you've been playing, Andre?
I believe that is it. I'm so jealous that I haven't gotten to play Life is Strange yet. I'm probably once this podcast is done, I'm gonna fucking play Life is Strange because I'm so excited to see what that is. I know Jordan was a huge fan of the original, so I can't wait to hear his opinion on it too.
Even more of the prequel.
even
Just-
more
just
of the
cla-
prequel.
To clarify again, I've never had any problem with Life is Strange. I played the first. I got to the part where the girl's in the wheelchair, and I thought that's the best ending it could possibly be. I don't want to play it anymore. When you just open the door, and the girl is crippled, and she's got some kind of thing in her mouth. I was like, cool, I'm just going to take that as my ending. And then you guys talked about it too much, and now I hate Life is Strange.
Well,
And I
get
will
ready.
never play any iteration of it, so fuck it.
Oh,
People are telling me this one's better, and I'm like, there's no way. Because Jordan said
There is a way. There's definitely a way for it to be better.
Jordan said Game of the Year last year, I recall.
yeah.
How
Well,
high is it in our 100 games of all time? Is it on our 100 games of all time?
I do not think so.
no, not that yet. We can put it in at the end of this year.
Let's put it in.
Oh, the
next
second one
time.
might. Anyway, so yeah, I've played Life is Strange season 2, episode 1.
Tell me about it.
It's really good. It starts off like the first 30 minutes or so. I'm like, and I won't do any spoilers, but you're a teenager and you kind of your other teenagers chatting with you, and it does the same.
What powers have they got, Ben?
Well, wait a second, and
No,
none.
tell me.
But yeah, you're having some kind of, angst. Yeah, I think they mention drug, sex, alcohol, underage drinking, like within the first 20 minutes with their edginess.
Wait. Yes. Yeah. I fucking the sex, alcohol, drugs. Yeah. Sex.
And they
All right,
use
man,
and they
you
use
made
the,
it weird.
the typical typical phrases you'd expect of like an adult who thinks this is how teens talk. Let's put this language in.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that though. I don't know why.
Well,
It's such a...
It lasts for the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then it stops, and then there's none of it, and it's
Oh.
amazing. Yeah. So
Does
it's
anyone say hella?
Nope, nobody said hella yet. Thank God.
Damn it.
But yeah, it's
They're gonna
really.
save that as like a little Easter egg, I bet.
Do you know
In the
what's
background,
gonna
someone said-
really upset people is how political it is.
Oh,
And it's
I
amazing.
cannot wait To hear the politics of a fucking
Oh.
French ass group of people.
Well, there are. I think there are minimum of two references to the wall mentioned.
Sweet.
So yeah, you're playing as a guy who's got I think his dad was an immigrant from Mexico, and
Really?
so it's you and your brother, your younger brother.
Jordan is shaken right
Yeah.
now. He is.
SJW.
They're trying to ruin my video games.
Yeah.
Why can't I just play as a sexy Japanese robot girl?
Yeah, you see that they don't use the word like no, but it kind of puts you in perspective. But I'm getting The Last of Us vibes from it.
Whoa!
Because
Tell me
you're
more.
looking after your young brother as you're going through through woods and having to sleep out, and yeah, it's just like a long adventure so far. You're looking after your brother, and your brother is the one with the powers. It's not you, and he doesn't control them. So at the beginning, I'm not going to spoil it, but something really big happens, and it's caused by obviously a white cop in America deciding to shoot. And then something happens that your brother does that he didn't have any control over. And then later, yeah, you see other things. But it's like the powers are not really anything in this first episode. I think later on they will be. By the way, if you're playing it, wait till the very end of the credits, because there's a little post-credit thing that's cool. Also, the post-credit thing is in a different season, so it's still more Last of Us vibes. This is pretty much The Last of Us, but on modern consoles.
Oh my god! I you know what? I bet you it's better than The Last of Us.
Yeah, I prefer.
I know
it.
the writing team, a bunch of French dudes,
Mm-hmm.
50-year-old French dudes writing about teenage angst. They
in
fucking
the
know what
United
they're
States for some reason.
But anyway, it does seem really a lot better written. The word, like the stuff that the voice acting is really cool. I've had loads of people that were just watching it and chilled and playing it, and not playing it, but they were just sat back. And I thought nobody was in my chat, and then at the end I finished the stream and like 6 people were like, "Hey, that was cool." Really enjoyed that. Just sat and enjoying it. It's a lot slower. It's longer. It was 3.5 hours I think I spent. Go through your phone, look at all the messages, because as things happen, it updates in your phone. It's really interesting to see how it happens. And
So the supernatural stuff, does that still form the
Yeah.
kind of mechanical gameplay stuff?
no, not at all.
No.
Not
Okay.
one bit. You don't.
So it's an adventure game
Yeah.
fully now.
It's pretty much an adventure game that you have to interact and you can work things out. But it's a walking simulator where you can interact with lots of things, just like the first one was, really. But there aren't that many puzzles yet. Whereas in the first one, you use the time traveling to kind of solve puzzles and to do things specific ways. But this time, no, and you are not the one with the power, which makes it. I don't know how they're going to solve that in the future.
So the power is purely a narrative instrument in this. You don't.
The
Or is
power
that a
thing.
spoiler?
No, yeah, I mean, like it's you only see the power a couple of times.
Is telling us what the power is a spoiler, or is it just Andre? You don't want to know that, do you?
I do. Is it the same power as the one from Captain Spirit? Spoilers for Captain Spirit.
Well,
Did you beat Captain Spirit?
I didn't. I've forgotten what his thing was.
Oh, okay. At the end of Captain Spirit, spoiler alerts for this. It's really cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like the entire episode is him like just pretending to have like powers, like force powers, kind of just like closing the door, like putting his hands out, like and then like slowly pushing the door himself and pretending like he did it himself. It's really cute.
No, this one is telekinetic.
Okay, yeah, because at the end of Captain Spirit, he like falls from his treehouse and he's about to like land on his head, but then he just starts floating. And he's
Yeah.
like just. So is this connected to Captain Spirit? Is this the same guy?
It's
Same
no,
kid?
it's not related whatsoever so far.
Really?
But they do say that he does return, so maybe later they find other people with the powers. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that could make sense.
There's one scene in it though where you're in an area with a person and you're looking down over Arcadia Bay, and
No way.
yeah, And because it tells you at the beginning, it's like, did you save Arcadia Bay? Did you sacrifice it, or did you save it? And then I'm
I
guessing,
sacrificed it for love, obviously.
oh
Everyone
God,
did.
I was
Jordan, you
so
did that, right? You
I
sacrificed
love
that kid.
lesbians. I just wanted to see them kiss.
I was so happy that I got to kill Chloe. I'd wanted to kill her from like the second
God,
episode.
fuck you,
So-
man. I wanted to kill Max.
But it'd be interesting. You tell me what happens then, because for me, I could see Arcadia Bay. It looked very nice. But if you say that you sacrificed it, I wonder if it'll be like, wow, look at that shithole down there. It's just a swamp
Oh.
now.
I would have sacrificed the shit out of it multiple times to save Chloe, the most interesting video game character ever written.
Oh,
Let's move on.
well, just
She
wait
had
until you
blue
play
hair,
this one.
guys. She had blue fucking hair.
She was
She's
edgy.
deep.
Yeah, I recommend Life is Strange 2. It's a lot more interesting, a lot better written, and it's kind of just it's chilled and really interesting. It's
Can I
not.
write
It
the
doesn't
review for
cringe
this?
once, of course, as long as you give it a 10.
I will give it a fucking 11. On a scale from something shitty to Bloodborne, it is one above Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne Plus.
Good ethics, guys.
He's not played it yet. We're gonna give it an 11. Oh, other games I've been playing. I played Des Nasty. They seem to be every week. They seem to be bringing out Destiny 2. They seem to be bringing out a new mission in this area at the end, and they keep making it more like they keep changing the area to be more taken, which is their it's like some kind of disease that's taking over this the Dreaming City. So the Dreaming City, I didn't realize, is on a disc. It's not even it's weird. It's proper fantasy style. It's gone from trying to make it look gritty, realistic about the future to, hey, let's just embrace fantasy here and have this huge area that looks totally mental and crazy. And they've also added a new strike. There's also, which is a mission for 3 players. Then they've added a random one just recently, which I've not played, but people say is like a mini raid with the jumping puzzles, multiple bosses, and it just appeared there one day. So it's definitely a game that they're constantly adding stuff to. In fact, this week I've not been playing it that much because I played a little too much. So I've just been leveling up my one character instead of all 3. And it's interesting. I'm sure like I've run out of time for the first time since buying Destiny 2. I'm running out of time rather than running out of things to do. Because in the past I would pretty much play, there were like 4 things you could do to get your powerful gear, and I would do that in a day and a half on all my 3 characters, and then that was it, and I was just bored and had to wait. Whereas now there's just multiple things you can do, all these extra quests for exotic weapons, and they keep every week they're adding new stuff. And it's just if Destiny's the only game you have and you can't afford or you don't want any other game, then you're sorted. It's like the MMO style, but big grind going right now. And I think some people are reaching max level already, so be interesting to see what they do after that. But yeah, Destiny 2 still going strong.
Yay.
But that kept my attention. A game that didn't keep my attention that much, Spider-Man. Played it a bit. I enjoyed it, but it's like the 5 or 6 hours. But I keep looking at my PlayStation thinking I could just go and play a bit now. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need to sit down with it and play another 10 hours or so.
Yeah, just mainline it.
Yeah.
Just go through the story. Like that's the draw with that game is, one, obviously the traversal through the city, which you'll get by doing the story. And 2, just the fact the story is really, really well crafted. Superhero story. All the side activity stuff. That's there for you to do if you want to do it, but it's really nothing progressive. It's just kind of standard open world fare.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I like. That's what somebody mentioned as well. And I kind of agreed. It's not doing anything groundbreaking, but it's perfecting what is already out there.
I don't know.
Like,
I think the
swinging?
traversal stuff is groundbreaking, and I think that city that they've created visually is like, for me, that I know it isn't 1-to-1, but like when you're up on a skyscraper looking down, that just looks like a 1-to-1 Manhattan to me.
Yeah.
So I think from that perspective, it's good. From the story perspective, I think Arkham's done it probably a little bit better.
Yeah.
But all the side stuff is just very, very typical open world fare. So no, I don't think it's necessarily perfected the open world superhero game, but it's just a really highly polished and fun Spider-Man experience.
I like how you can. I like all the mini games, like the ones where you're kind of making energy flow through. And
So I just went into the accessibility menu and turned it on so I could press one button and just beat those.
oh, really? That's it's that one.
Yeah.
Great.
So if you do want to get through it, maybe that's an idea. 'Cause
I
I
need
don't
to-
know how
I-
long it's supposed to take, but
Yeah, I'm gonna put the accessibility option on where I don't need to bash buttons. I don't know why, but I can't bash buttons. Maybe I don't know. Don't have Parkinson's yet.
too gentle of a soul.
I am. Yeah.
Is there an option where you can just have the gameplay itself? That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
There are
you
loads of
just watch it.
accessibility options, aren't there?
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Maybe I'll give it another go. Although Assassin's Creed's coming out, and there's only space in my life for one open world game, and I think I'll keep that
Yeah,
one.
like if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, I guess. But I can definitely recommend. I don't even like, to be honest, the hero thing. I'm very quickly being very over. But I thought this was standout. And for like a 15-hour story, it's definitely worth it.
The fact it's 15 hours, that means that I'll definitely get through it for in time for Game of the Year talk. I'm guessing this might be on the top 10. Melum says that's Twitch. What's Twitch? Whatever Andre said.
Spider-Man will be right below Life is Strange 2, Episode 1.
Wow, it'll be
And
second.
episode-
So you're saying Spider-Man's going to be second? Wow, that's a bold claim. Gameplay without playing. Yeah, that's what people do with Twitch. They don't want to play a game. Just watch it. Watch it on Twitch.
Yeah.
That's what most people do with Life is Strange. Like, I can't be bothered to play it. I'll just watch someone stream it.
But what if I want to make different decisions? Like I want to kiss Chloe instead of destroy the world.
Well, thank God, Chloe. In my
Destroy the
world, Chloe is dead.
In my world, Chloe is alive and kicking.
But yeah, Jordan, what do you think of Spider-Man?
Yeah, really like it. I think it deserves all the praise that it's getting. Kind of like what I said a little while ago. Like it'd be really interesting perspective because it's just a perfect storm lining up. Like it's the fastest selling game of the year, but only on one console. Like
Yeah.
that's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to work that way. But they've done it because they've got such a major. Like Spider-Man's never been more popular. Marvel's arguably never been more popular.
Yeah.
And they just got a really talented studio to make a fucking kick-ass game. So good for them. And from finishing the game, it seems like there's obviously intentions to do more of this. There'll clearly be a Spider-Man 2 on PS5. So it's just another big tick in the box, I think, from an exclusive Sony perspective. And it's a nice big kind of open world as well. It's a little bit different from, the more linear narrative focus that the Sony tends to have with its first party output. So it's not diverging that much, and I think they diverge a little more. Like maybe bring Gran Turismo back. But it's something a little bit different, I guess.
What would Insomniac be doing then? What's their next game? Do we know?
No, I don't know.
Probably Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
I'd like them to
guess
do
so,
something
though.
else before that. I've never been a massive fan of the Spider-Man world, although I like watching the latest movie was really good. I'm looking forward to the new one, as long as it wasn't Tobey Maguire. Just last game I was playing Fire Pro Wrestling World. Went back to that. Been, as I was talking about earlier, been making my subs as characters in there, getting them to wrestle, giving them all these stats and stuff. Great fun.
So what are you like building them and then just making them fight each other?
Yeah, computer, CPU,
That's
CPU,
awesome.
and do some commentary. It's been really good fun. The only thing is that Fire Pro Wrestling World is a bad video game. It was so promising when it first released, and I was like, okay, it's kind of early access. I assumed it was early access, and it still feels like an early access game, even though 1.0's come out. Like the title fights,
like bugs or something.
yeah, like you can't edit the name of like the title. The belt. I just tried to edit the name of it slightly, and it resets the entire history and takes it off the person who's the champion. Also, you can't the matches.
Is that a bug or is that just kind of?
I don't know if it's a bug or if it's something that they just couldn't do with a code. I imagine.
Like that could just be a weird wrestling thing where, like, you do have lineages of title.
But it's not that deep. They're always like, you can edit so many things with a wrestler. You can do this. You can edit. There's a million different pieces and a billion combinations you can have for every wrestler, and it's really cool. Like you just look on the workshop, and there's some people have made some incredible like a two-legged or a one-legged like Cyclops thing. I don't know how they managed that, but yeah, there's some really interesting characters been made. My referee of choice is Ref Gersman, which is obviously the guy from Giant Bomb. But like when it comes to matches, there's like 6 types of matches, and if you want a title fight, there are only 2 matches you can have. It'll either be the normal one-on-one or it could be a battle royale. But they've got gruesome fighting, they've got this cage matches, they've got landmine death matches, this SWA, they've got all these other cool things, but you can't actually fight you can't have any of those as title fights. It's just, it feels like it's half-assed. It's very half-assed is the game. And
yeah, that's odd. Like the whole shtick of this game is supposed to be about user creation and customizability and stuff like that. That does strike me.
And they want a lot of people play it as CPU v CPU. You know, it's just for entertainment.
Can you not mod this stuff in? Like I know there's obviously there's curated like creation stuff on Steam, but can you not go outside of Steam and maybe get a few mods in there, and that'll open up the?
I'm not sure. I've not looked at where the mods are applied, but they released it on PS4 recently, and a lot of people are complaining that it's only getting kind of like cared about on PS4, even though it's something like $60 or £50 whatever on PS4, which is ridiculous for a game that should be about 20. And what was the other thing? Yeah, they literally I played it and then got off the game, and about an hour later they tweeted saying, "Hey, the big patch is coming tomorrow. It's our first patch since early August or whenever. It'll allow for this DLC, and we've also made some UI changes." And I thought, oh, that's gonna be cool. Loaded it up, and it plays even worse than before now.
Oh dear.
Every time I finish a game, it resets everything. Like it's I've selected Ref Gersman as the ref. I've selected this arena, and every time I'd finish a game, it would kind of just go back to that screen, and it would keep all my settings. But now all the settings get reset each time, and all it seems to have done, is to update the UI so it makes it look a bit more dynamic. But like nothing's been added, and it just it plays even worse. So yeah, I'm looking forward to switching over to WWE 2K19 on Friday. However, tonight we're going to be doing a bit of Fire Pro Wrestling World, where Brutal Brenda will defend her title against Mega Petros. So yeah, you can do
the BBW League.
The BBW League, indeed, yes.
Big,
yes.
Biggest wrestling.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sure, man. Sure.
Big boy.
You get a lot of people coming in expecting other things.
Is that it for you?
That's me done. Yeah, I'm all done. Go on.
I'll whiz through what I played then. Obviously, yeah, talk about Spider-Man, so finished that. Really happy with it. I played a little bit of Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Why only a little bit, Jordan?
Because it's really fucking boring. But you know what? Like, it's such a weird one. Like, I just think that trilogy of games is really odd. Like, I've got a bit of a soft spot for those games because the original PlayStation, when the first, I think probably it could well be that the first PlayStation game I ever played was the original Tomb Raider. It was either that, like I think I had that.
Yeah, me too. Tomb Raider 2, I think.
Resident Evil 1 and 2, and like a couple of other things. So it could well be the Tomb Raider is the first ever PlayStation game that I played. So there's a bit of there's a bit of nostalgia there for me, and kind of hated to see where the franchise has been. I think it's better now than it has been since probably those PS1 days. But they've done something to the character. Like, and I get the complaints about old school Lara Croft that she's really sexualized and in some ways objectified. But at the same time, she was a really strong character as well. And now it just seems like what I was expecting from these new games is that the first one, she is just some basic, teenager or 20-year-old or however old she was that gets put into this situation and has to persevere to get through that. And then the second one, she's a bit stronger but still unsure about herself and whatever. And I was hoping with this one that you'd really start to see like a stronger
woke. Is she woke?
No, not woke, but like just I don't know, just someone that is a little bit more fierce, I guess. Like she just every conversation that she has, she just seems like she's bewildered and she just seems so sad about everything. I just wish she had a little bit more confidence, and like that just totally put me off the game. I played it for like an hour or so. And it's beautiful on PC. Like I'll give it that. It looks really run nice enough on my PC. I'm not sure what people are saying about the PC version, but as far as I can tell, it's a good version of the game. But then every time Lara opens her mouth, I'm like, fuck. and I would have probably given it the benefit of the doubt if I thought that maybe, okay, this is the game that she's going to have a breakthrough. But then from reading like reviews, apparently it isn't. Like this game doesn't really go anywhere with the character, which is really depressing. So I'm going to struggle to play it. I have heard some good things in terms of how they've toned down the combat, which I like the sound of. Kind of similar to Uncharted 4, where these guys are really starting to think now about, we're creating this hyper-realistic world. And yes, an action game, but if we're creating this hyper-realistic world, throwing 50 random enemies at a character is going to break the immersion on that. I think Uncharted 4 did a really good job of it, because in previous games, you killed hundreds and hundreds of people, whereas Uncharted 4 really broke up the narrative with the puzzle solving and then a little bit of combat intelligently placed. And apparently this does a bit more of that, and there's a lot of puzzle solving, which is good. I just really miss the old school Tomb Raider games where it's just Lara Croft and she hasn't got a radio and she's in some tomb and solving puzzles and stuff. So hopefully we'll go back there one day.
And
Well,
she's
Jordan,
naked,
Jordan,
like,
can I interest you,
just
Jordan?
like less clothes,
Can I introduce you to a thing called a PlayStation 1 Mini?
We've got it in the news. Don't spoil it.
Okay, sorry. But somebody on Twitter said actually that they really enjoyed Tomb Raider because they played for an hour or so, and they didn't kill anybody. It was just like puzzle solving and exploring.
Killed a few animals, like a panther decided to attack me.
Oof. Did you didn't it crash and lose your save file?
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Was
Yeah.
that Tomb Raider?
Yeah, that was Tomb Raider.
Yeah, what happened? It was very early on, so I did play through that again. I'm just trying to think, why did that happen? Yeah, I think it just crashed. I had really crashed out hard, and I was only like, I don't know, 90 minutes into it or something, and obviously you're taking your time at the start. But yeah, there was this weird. It was when I was fucking around with like resolutions and stuff. I was trying to work, classic PC gaming shit. You spend more time trying to make it run the highest graphics that you can versus actually playing the game. And I was like changing it from like 1440p down to 1080 meant that the screen was blacking out or something, and then eventually the game just crashed. And when I went back in, the save was fucking corrupted. Yeah, you're right. That did leave a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily I wasn't 15 hours in or something. I pretty much just done the intro, so I just kind of sucked it up, and the next day got through the intro again. But yeah, I don't recommend it. I think all of these games have been pretty bland.
You're not going to go back into it then?
Maybe it's not. The only reason I got it was I was like, it's the end of the trilogy. As much as I don't think it's been great, like I'd kind of like to see it out, and kind of the marketing for it and stuff. The fact it's called Shadow, I hoped it would have that kind of darker edge, and it kind of does in a way. Like she's responsible for bringing on the apocalypse or something, which is pretty dark. Then she's just dealing with it in the same fucking style that she has done the last two games. So she's like, "Oh no, we have to fix it. I have to find the medal of da 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 da. Oh no, I just can't. I just can't with her."
It's been really mixed, the reviews. I've seen some really high reviews, and then I think it was GameSpot gave it like a 6 or had really low reviews.
The world looks good. The limited amount of puzzles that I've seen. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it isn't studio as the last two. So maybe, in the grand scheme of things, maybe it does feel a little bit like a B-side. I'm not sure, which is, again, annoying for what's supposed to close down this trilogy. You'd think they'd want to start strong for wherever they want to take, wherever they want to take this franchise in the future. And it's like, they need to be careful because, Square are not shy about closing down franchises. They've got rid of Deus Ex, they've got rid of Hitman. I know Tomb Raider's got way more kind of market value, I imagine, or recognition at least, and mind share within kind of the mainstream public. But that film flopped. If this game doesn't sell very well, which I don't know if it is or not, I get the impression it might be a little soft on sales.
Yeah.
They might decide to just shelve it, maybe.
Sell it to PlayStation. Always in my head, it's always PlayStation is Tomb Raider.
Uncharted though, they came and did it better, didn't they? So,
yeah.
And the next Uncharted is going to star girls.
If there is one. Although, yeah, there will be. Wonder when we'll see an Uncharted.
That Tomb Raider movie was so bad.
I can't get over the neck in the promo poster thing. That's all I know about it.
That's all you need to know. That movie
Yeah.
was fucking awful.
What a weird thing to do. What a weird thing to do. Yeah. So I said I didn't have much to say about that, but we've talked about it for 15 minutes. I played the Blackout beta, like we said earlier. I think this is finally a battle royale that I'm prepared to probably spend a bit of time on.
Ooh.
The only annoying thing is that it comes bundled with like a 60 quid game. I'm gonna wait for it to come out and see what the reception is and stuff like that. I'm hoping like they're not gonna do it, are they? They're not gonna spin this off as a free one early on. Annoyingly, I think they will. Maybe in a year's time, you'll probably be able to play Blackout for free if it's successful. But I liked it. Kind of. It's more of a way more of a realistic looking battle royale game than Fortnite. Kind of looks a bit more like player-unknown battleground. Probably, I'm guessing that all the fucking nerds that use mouse and keyboards and look at fucking bullet drop and all that kind of shit are probably hating on it. But for me, it was exactly what I wanted. Big open environments, a lot of negative space between encounters. I think they've probably done themselves a disservice in trying to copy player-unknown battleground too much. Like, spoiler, PlayerUnknown Battleground isn't a perfect game. It just happened to be in the right place at the right time. It was the first game to really try doing like these big, huge maps with a lot of players, but they're not constantly encountering each other. That's the kind of the secret sauce there, I think. But they've taken on a lot of baggage, I think, from PlayerUnknown. Like just the way that you get weapons and stuff. There's just you'll go into a building and there'll be a random assortment of weapons there and a random assortment of scopes and things. And I get that that's part and parcel with PlayerUnknown Battleground. I would have thought that Call of Duty would have a bit more of a polished solution to that. I personally think that they should kind of go for this format, but there should be a progression for your character in it. You could have some kind of risk and reward system. When you start off, it's completely like PlayerUnknown Battleground. You go in naked, you have to find weapons and stuff like that. Maybe have a little mini game inside it where the weapons that you have, like you need to do a certain action to kind of bank them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go into another round, maybe you could have currency at the start of the round to spend on items. And it could even link into like, if you don't spend any currency, you get a multiplier on your win in terms of XP. But if you go in with loads of fucking guns, if you go in absolutely armed to the teeth, then you're actually going to get less XP wins, something like that. But right now, it's very much, we play PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Okay, we'll just make one of those, which is the kind of minimum they had to do, really. But it plays really nicely. It works on a controller. I haven't even bothered to play PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds on Xbox because I just hear such terrible things about it. PlayerUnknown on PC is pretty much the dominion of mouse and keyboard players. So this is the first one that potentially I could see myself spending quite a lot of time with. But
didn't you win a game?
I won a game, yeah.
Was it in singles or?
Yeah, only played singles.
How many people?
What is it called when you win?
I don't know. They just give you like a medal.
Nice.
Yeah, there's no like chicken dinner or anything. So yeah, that is good, and it seems like from what I've been reading, they've taken on a lot of feedback from the beta and stuff, and they're going to be updating things. So yeah, I hope that becomes the type of game that I want it to be, and I'm just surprised that it isn't Battlefield that's doing that for me. I would have thought they'd be the ones to kind of do this. If I was PlayerUnknown Battleground, I'd be really worried right now, considering the kind of pincer movement that they're going to see from Fortnite continuing staggering success, and now this for me is also going to eat up a lot of people that don't necessarily want to play with cartoony type characters in Fortnite and want a bit more realistic shooting, but at the same time are not there on PC. Killing it on PlayerUnknown Battleground. I think
it should go free to play. I wish it was free. I think they should make it free to play. PUBG.
What, PlayerUnknown?
Yeah, because then otherwise, then you could be like, well, let's play I want a realistic game, but I don't want the one that I have to pay $60 for. Because $30 is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Bill says, I heard that solos felt the worst of all the game modes. Wow, were they? I don't know. I haven't played it. I'm just gonna go in blind when it's released in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever played a card game, and I really don't want to just buy the latest Call of Duty to play this one mode. So I'm gonna let it marinate a little bit, see what people are saying about it, see if they talk about new maps and all that kind of stuff. And if this mode becomes really robust, then potentially I'll jump in at a later stage on Xbox, more than likely.
Xbox.
But we shall see. initial impressions positive. Another game I played is Time Spinner, and I actually finished it. I finished it in like 2 days. So Time Spinner is almost exclusively a Symphony of the Night clone. Plays almost identically. The weapon system's a little bit different, and it introduces like a time mechanic where you can stop and start time. But everything else is very much like Symphony of the Night, to the point where the aspect ratio of the game is in 4:3 versus 16:9.
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird. But it was decent. I think those games, for them to be a really good one, you need to really nail the sense of challenge and the sense of progression. And this one was way too easy. I found myself in boss encounters, instead of trying to work out the pattern bosses, I just had enough health to tank them. Really, I was just kind of trying to find an awkward spot for them and just spamming them with attacks. That shouldn't really happen in a game like this, and you should, like, even just progressing through normal parts of the map, and when you're kind of mapping out, right, where am I and what does this world look like, you should feel in danger. And within a couple of hours, I just didn't. It's pretty short. I think, like, I was surprised. I was just playing it, expecting to play it for another few days, and then suddenly the credits rolled. It's like, okay, I finished this one. But if you like that type of game, if you like Symphony of the Night, Chasm, that came out earlier this year, is probably a better version of that, I would argue. But this is certainly another one of those. Or you could just wait for it to get re-released on PS4, I think, next month, and play the daddy of them. And the only other thing I played is Valkyria Chronicles.
Ooh.
Valkyria Chronicles 4, yeah?
Yes. So this is it's kind of a strategic military game, but in the style of anime.
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of. Have you got? Do you like the first one? Is the only one that's been really popular. Have you guys played it at all?
I've
No.
never played. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of
Did the
very
last one
slow.
do really badly?
The 2 and 3, I think they were like on handheld or something.
Okay.
Certainly the first one is a bit of a cult classic. That was on PS3, and you can there's a good version on PC as well if you want to try it out. And
Yeah.
This is the latest one, and I'm playing it on Switch. And kind of diehard fans of the game are pretty much saying this is the best version. I'm kind of struggling with it. Like, it's first one was the type of game which I picked up loads of times because it's got such a positive perception, and I always ended up just closing it off. And I think a game like this, I want to go into it and have it, especially because I'm playing it on Switch as well, which is kind of unfair because this is on all the consoles and wherever else, but I'm playing it on handheld. I want this really snappy strategic experience, and it's just bogged down with loads of crappy anime dialogue. And they're in the heat, like they're in a crazy battle across a fictional Europe. It's essentially World War II, but then it's all the same anime tropes of looking at girls' asses and idiots talking.
What was
about
that line?
bullshit.
You sent us a picture of a line from that.
Oh yeah.
Let me see if I can.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was an example. And like, I just started skipping through the dialogue, but it just feels like you're probably missing a part of the experience if you start doing that. But like, I'm a few hours in, and it just feels like realistically I should be way further than I'm on like this third mission, and it's like the way the line is, check out the ass on that one, I'd swab her deck.
I love anime.
Like the way it's presented, it gives you like it's really pretty game, right? It's kind of cell shaded,
Yeah.
and in the menu it's kind of a book, and you turn the pages, and it's got episodes, and it's like view episode, and to view an episode, that's basically going to be like a cutscene with these stupid characters, and it just seems like there's 3 of those episodes before you get into go into like a battle. And then when you go into the battle, there's just like, again, loads and loads of dialogue, which I wouldn't mind. Like, a lot of it is tutorials. I get that it's quite a dense game. There's a lot to consider in it. But then a lot of it is just mindless Japanese dialogue, which just doesn't need to be there. And maybe some people will like it. I guess it's characterization, although the characters they're creating, I think, are really shitty. But yeah, I've heard that if you put a lot of time into it, the strategy element becomes really, really strong. But I'm just struggling to get through the trappings of what comes with a Japanese anime. I guess it's kind of feels like a Japanese RPG and also just like an anime. So you can imagine what the dialogue's like at times.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Bill Paxton chat says those anime tropes are justice. Oh, you'd love it. You'd love it, Bill. Then you'd love it. Mega also says, "I'm waiting for Tom Cruise to bust in and save Andre."
Or shoot him.
I got a bunch of pictures on the wall, guys. I'm trying to add life to this prison cell.
You should try windows. Windows are good. Do you have a
My
window?
window's over there. I don't feel like fucking turning the camera all the way over there.
Bars.
It's easier to record from my closet because that's where my Wi-Fi is.
Oh. All right. Have you been playing anything else, Jordan, or is that it? Should we go into the news?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
News time. News. Jokes on you. That is so loud. The news thing. You could just hear this in the background. News time. Jordan, what is in the news? Come on, Moira Stewart, tell us what's in the news.
Bong. So it's been a while since we've done with it. Has it been a month? I guess.
What has been a month
since we've done the show?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. It's been a while.
So I feel like a lot has happened, but then when I went through the news, there was there's a lot of little bits and pieces that I think have already been talked about and wherever else. Like I said earlier, Castlevania is coming to PS4. Just little things, little cool things like that. It just seems like every day there's cool little announcement. I thought I'll go through 3 big hitters from the last week or so, and then maybe we could just go through the news that came out of that direct that we live streamed, because there's quite a bit in there.
Yeah.
So the biggest one that I've got is that Sony have pretty much allowed now Fortnite cross-platform play with Nintendo Switch and Xbox.
That's great news. That means I can use my actual account on my Switch, which is nice.
So this is either just really great news for Fortnite players, or potentially kind of a signal that Sony's going to change their ways when it comes to the whole cross-platform stuff. So hopefully it's the latter.
They pretty much said that, didn't they? They said that it's going to be for other platforms as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that seems to be what the wording and tone of their really, really businessy announcements are. But yeah, I just really hope going into the next generation that, because I think there's going to be more parity next time. I think Xbox and PlayStation are probably going to be closer to like 50-50 in terms of market share.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd really like them to start working together a little bit. I think what this does do now is put pressure back on developers and publishers, because Sony's been a bit of a whipping boy, and now I guess they're allowing it to happen. Bethesda's already come out and said that Fallout 76 won't be doing this.
Yeah.
So you can kind of understand proximity to launch, but at the same time also I think it's only for certain games the publishers are interested in doing it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens now that there are some games where we can do cross-platform play. I really hope this happens for Rocket League, because that's pretty much the only online game that I play. I play on Switch at the moment. My understanding is that I'm playing against Switch, PC, maybe PS4, I think. It'll be really nice to know that I'm playing against everybody in a combined universe at some point, which I've got to assume will happen because those guys are all over it. Any thoughts?
It's great, but I imagine how they're going to manage it with like the party chat, whether Discord will be a thing. I'd love for PlayStation to implement Discord as an app.
God forbid Discord is still a thing. I fucking hate Discord.
Wait, what? Why?
Next
So
bit of news.
confusing. I'm still
Where
like
people can-
looking at the Discord chat. I'm like, I don't understand what this is.
Just
What are all
let
these
the kids
fucking-
do it. It's fine.
Go to the Not Safe for Work channel.
Oh, okay, that's where I need to be. Oh,
Yeah.
whoa, Ben, what are you doing on here? It's all pictures of Ben.
I wish. Always a lot like that.
Uh,
That's the thing. Like, voice chat will just be like the same as it's always been. Like, you can chat with the people on your system, and that's it.
Oh dear, I
I
clicked
don't
on it. Nearly showed some terrible stuff on chat. Right then. Thank God.
God damn. I just hope like it happens with like bigger titles, like the Call of Duty that's coming out. I mean, it's not going to happen, but that means that could open the door for crossplay.
Yeah, could do. I mean, it definitely
Yeah.
could do. I'd
I mean,
see
I'm
that.
sure Call of Duty has more. I mean, not right now, but like at a time they had more clout than Fortnite did.
Mm.
And now Fortnite is like the biggest thing in the world ever in the history of fucking video games.
So how great is Fortnite? For doing this, for being the ones that.
You know what? I don't like Fortnite at all. I think Fortnite's lame now. Everyone loves it so much. I don't get it.
It must have
But-
peaked, surely.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
peaked.
no, I
know a
don't
lot
think
of people.
so.
I know a lot of people that stopped playing. I'm one of the people who've stopped. Although I played it, I did get the battle pass for this season, so I can just play it every now and again. But
How
I've
much
got
is
a
the
Rocket
battle?
League pass now.
battle pass is €10, but it's 10 weeks. So it's like €1 a
So
week. You
weird.
get
So you end up paying more for that game than you would if you would just buy the $60
Oh god, yeah, I
version.
must have spent about €100 on it.
Has anyone played the real Fortnite? Like the
No,
I played
literally no one.
I played it for about an hour when it was first released in the beta, and that was the reason why I couldn't link my account to my Switch for
yeah.
ages.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, that was really. In fact, that was when I stopped playing Fortnite. Was when all this came out with the Switch.
yeah.
And now I just tried to link my Nintendo Switch to my account. It's like your Nintendo Switch is not already linked to a different account, so I've got to go fanny around with all of that. Bill Paxton says, business-wise, it's much better for developers. Requires a lot less resources for them to do cross-platform. Also, like, it'll keep a base there a lot longer. Like something like Destiny.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Like Destiny would be great as cross-platform because loads of people play that on PS4. I think.
Mm.
Pretty much whenever
I'm always surprised that it seems to be such an easy thing to do. I would like even with PS4 and Xbox being pretty similar devices architecture-wise, you'd still think that there's enough difference there, especially on like the network end, in terms of how they communicate with Xbox and versus communicating with Sony, which I've got to assume like the Microsoft model is probably way fucking more advanced and better than whatever PlayStation does. But the fact that I'm sure it's more complicated than this, but it's seemingly a flick of a switch, and it's just like, yeah, boom, this is working now. I would have just thought that there's inherent issues with that wouldn't necessarily, not that they couldn't overcome those, but I would have thought they would need to put a little bit more kind of brain power into fixing that stuff. But what do I know? Nothing about this stuff, so it just seems simpler than what I thought it would be.
It's such good publicity though as well. Like as we've spoken before, like the kids or parents who buying consoles for the kids, as the kids like, I want an Xbox. Oh, why did you buy me a PlayStation? And all my friends have Xbox. I can't play with any of my friends now. And in the future, hopefully, it'll be like you can buy your child whatever you want, whichever's on offer. And
if my little kid was sitting there saying, "Why have you bought me an Xbox? Why have you bought me a PlayStation and not an Xbox?" Like
you just slap
he
the
or she would
shit
be out
out
on the
of them.
street.
Yeah,
And not because they're ungrateful, just because they're asking for an Xbox.
I didn't raise an
Play God
Xbox.
of War, you stupid little cunt.
Yeah,
I want
Hello.
Minecraft.
I want to play. What's that one with the cogs? Oh, that really crap one.
I want to play Gears of War 4.
I want to play.
Actually, in a couple of days, I'm gonna get
Daddy, I want to play Gears of War, Daddy.
What? Forza Horizon 4?
Mega said, I thought it was mostly about servers. Who's paying for them, basically? Several PS4 titles have cross-platform. Yeah, who pays for the servers?
Who fucking
We all
knows?
do. Yeah.
Epic. Epic has money to burn.
Next bit of news. I don't want to go on about this one for ages because I listened to
Oh, you went
talk about
dead.
this. I've actually started fast forwarding through them now at this point, but the Telltale Game Studios closed down effectively. Like they've laid off 90% of their staff and clearly going into some kind of administration.
Without paying
don't think
them redundancy, bastards.
God.
No, but
That's America.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what their contract is. So probably a bigger issue that needs to get sorted out. But from a video game lens, I don't think this is that surprising. Like they
Unionized.
laid off people recently. The games have been the same fucking thing for years and years.
But it's
What do you
been,
expect?
it was like 230 people they let off in like one day.
Yeah.
That was like
With
the
no
big
severance or
problem.
anything, just like, see you later.
Yeah, it
And
seems
yeah,
like they just rode it right to the.
Yeah, it
Right
was
to the
they were
edge, I
waiting for a
guess.
Lionsgate contract, and the Lionsgate
Yeah.
said no, and they're like, okay, well, I guess we got to close.
Oh well.
Which is nuts. Can you imagine? Like, oh, that would. I've
Yeah.
never been fired from a job. I've only abruptly quit my job. So
Just as bad.
They were at their insistence. We really
But, yeah,
insist that
like-
you abruptly quit this job. All right.
Did you pay your employer severance?
Yeah.
Never.
They need unions. The games industry, you hear just absolute horror
That's
stories.
not gonna help.
Well, people fighting for rights doesn't
But
help.
right now, I mean, like aren't they all suing the company because
Video games are so cross-national. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at Ubisoft, the guys that made Assassin's Creed are going to be working in a multitude of different countries. I don't necessarily think that. And this is what I didn't want to get into on the show, I guess. But I don't necessarily think that well, just unionize is necessarily going to fix it. I think it probably just needs, but it's difficult, but there just needs to be probably people being a little bit more, and it's easy to say, I guess, when you look for we take anything, but people probably need to scrutinize a little bit more in terms of actually what are my rights when what's in my contract and stuff like that, and probably just a cultural change from like a publisher and dev house perspective in terms of actually like if we've only got X amount of money left and that means that we could just about pay some kind of severance to our guys, maybe we should throw in the towel a little bit earlier than burning through the last fucking 1% of our cash. But yeah, again, what do I know? I'm not a businessman, I guess.
What games did they have down the pipeline? It was like Wolf Among Us 2.
Stranger Things. You've got to assume, well, obviously Walking Dead, we're in the middle of a season.
Oh my god,
the final
that's
season.
Nuts. And it got like a 5 on IGN.
Out of 10?
So it's like,
what?
Yeah,
For the first...
10.
Oh, really? A shit as well, is it?
Yeah, which was like
fuck.
awful. It's like, it'd be cool if it was just like a beautiful last like little chapter, but no, it's terrible. And I think they're going to have to give refunds to everyone.
Yeah, they have. They are going to. And I saw some great comments on the amazing place called Twitter. Somebody was like,
great.
why don't you guys just, like, if you're not got anything to do, why don't you guys just finish it?
Oh
yeah,
my
why don't you just work
God.
for free? Fucking idiots.
People who play video games are stupid.
Entitled. Very
It's almost as if they're teenagers.
I know,
I-
right?
I would-
It's like
I
it's hobbies
don't-
for teenagers.
Teenagers, even as teenagers, John, I'm pretty sure we went like, hey, why don't you work for free? I want to play
You
this
have
video
no idea
game.
what I was like as a teenager, Ben.
He was a fucking monster. When he
I was
he
an
was-
absolute wanker.
It was Tory boy.
I wasn't. So yeah, it is shit. But at the same time, I think there's a couple of silver linings to it. Don't tell the people that work there because they probably won't see the bright side like I am. But
Yeah, go tell everyone, tweet them.
Tweet them what Jordan's about to clip this part and tweet it to everyone.
I was planning on playing. I've only ever played The Walking Dead season 1, right? Which obviously everybody knows is really, really good.
Oh,
Except
so
Ben,
I've
'cause he's
heard.
played it.
I'm not gonna play it
And
now.
I was planning in preparation. Like I fell off the whole Telltale thing. Like I love Walking Dead season 1. I played The Wolf Among Us. Played a bit of Borderlands. Played Game of Thrones, and it was around about that time where I was like, and I even played Batman. And I remember when I downloaded Batman for the first time, I was already starting to feel a lot of fatigue with these type of games. And I thought, right, if I don't enjoy Batman, then I'm never going to enjoy any of these games ever again. Fucking cool IP. And I played it, and to be fair, it was one of the stronger ones. It was, they'd started updating the engine. It looked a little nicer. A lot of these bugs that people talk about, I haven't really seen with these games. Like I've never had game-breaking bugs or anything.
Yeah.
But what always stuck with me was the aesthetic was so similar across all of the games.
Yeah.
And like you'd be playing, you could be playing The Walking Dead, which has got a very, very set aesthetic in the comics, not so much in the show, I guess. But that is what it was. But then when you move forwards and you're like Borderlands, okay, it's a little bit more colorful, but those faces look a little bit familiar. But it does have a comical edge, so okay, a little bit different. We can roll with that. We move on.
I didn't mention. I was supposed to say, I didn't mention it with Life is Strange. Go back to Life is Strange 2, obviously.
Yes, can we go back to Life is Strange, please?
I felt similar things like the characters look just as detailed as they were in Life is Strange 1. They don't look like the scenery.
Incredible.
The scenery, the background, like the vistas that appear in there are just incredible. They're 10 times better than anything in Life is Strange 1, but the characters just look kind of plain, like PS3 kind of really.
As good as the original. I cannot wait.
Like there's not a single blemish on them. They're just kind of like mannequin dolls when they talk. Yeah. Anyway, Telltale.
Yeah. So
bad characters.
And then like just the fact that it all just felt so similar, and these completely different worlds. The interactions that you have are the same. So and so will remember this. Whatever else. Like I just got so fatigued with it and totally put it down. But then when this final season was coming out, like you know what, I probably owe it to that series at least to play through and see what happens to what's the girl's name?
Chloe. Oh, we're not talking about Life is Strange anymore.
I owe nothing to Life is Strange.
Clementine.
Yeah. I probably owe it to see kind of where that story goes. Like if this is a final season, I'm guessing it's gonna be really kind of strong ending. And it's just lucky that I didn't put the time in to fucking play that. No, this has happened, to be honest. So that's the silver lining. I did have a second one, but I can't think what it is now.
Are they going to work for? Hopefully, they'll work for a company that treats them all right. You know.
No, I think the second one was at least I won't need to see any of the stupid faces in these games that look really weird. So those are two kind of silver linings to it. But you know, I hope the talented people do go on to do something else.
Yeah.
Make sure to tweet at all the people who lost their jobs. Thank God I'm not going to have to look at those ugly faces you guys were making for
Spawn.
10 years, basically.
Life is Strange shows that this genre does have legs, I guess, and you could go and like these guys could go and do something elsewhere. Apparently, like the Stranger Things game is still happening, so I don't know who's going to dev that.
The what? The Life is Strange. What are you talking about?
Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger. That's not happening. They canceled that.
So Telltale isn't doing it, but apparently Netflix still is. Whether that'll actually happen.
No, they're doing the Minecraft one. That's the reason they stayed on, because they had to finish a Minecraft episode thing for Netflix.
Yes, this has nothing to do with Telltale. Apparently Netflix
are
still saying there's a Stranger Things game happening, but you know that could
give
be
it
damage.
Give it to Don't Nod. Give it to Don't Nod. They know what they're doing.
Don't Nod.
What did Don't Nod do?
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange.
Oh, you fucking idiots, right?
now there's a new Life is Strange out. You're gonna have it every single day. How long did we go in? Every single podcast. How long did it take us to make Life is Strange?
Like I said, I like Life is Strange.
I know you love it.
I get it. You're a massive fan.
Okay.
I love it so much. I get it.
Yeah, it's okay to love it.
You have to stop talking about it, man. Jordan, you really hogged the conversation all about Life is Strange and Metal Gear.
The music's amazing. Do you know who like one thing that's really cool in Life is Strange? You play some music and your character like sings along at parts to the song that you would normally.
Great.
Guess who?
That's really cool.
Yeah, I liked it. And guess who the singer is?
Sufjan Stevens.
No, although I love Sufjan Stevens. It was The Streets. Do you remember The Streets, Jordan?
Oh my god.
You're fit. Right. My gosh, don't you know it?
Oh my god.
It's actually a really good song of theirs that I'd not heard of before. The game is hella cringe, says Mega. Are you talking about Life is Strange 1 is, and the beginning of this one is, and then it suddenly goes, oh wow, this is an interesting adventure story.
Life is Strange 1, like in the first episode or something, had a girl jumping off a school building. I thought that was pretty cool. And then there was like dead whales on the beach. That was cool. Her being in the wheelchair was really cool. There was some really good shit going on, you know.
Great game. Yeah, great game.
Yeah, good game.
Should play it.
Incredible game. Yeah.
You gonna play any of season 2, Jordan?
Probably not.
I will buy it for you, Jordan.
In this economy where, you know, games are coming out 90% plus, you know, we got Red Dead on the horizon. Don't think I can take some time out of my day to be playing something.
It's only 3 hours, you know. At one point, this big kind of redneck just he ties up one of these like Latino guys and says, "You're the reason. This is the reason."
Jordan's shaking again.
This is the reason we should have built. This is the reason we need to build this wall. Yeah, they talk about that. There's lots of commentary.
Wait, staying on the Telltale thing really quick. Everyone should play Tales from the Borderlands. I think that's just an incredible game. It's like one of my favorites. I think it's better than The Walking Dead Season 1.
Funny games are very, very rare, right? Yeah. And that is one of them. And that puts it in a very small group of video games that are genuinely funny. You know, some idiots will laugh at stupid games like Life is Strange. I'm sure that you guys
stupid game.
Like I'm sure that you guys
just talked about how good it was, Jordan.
Yeah, but it's not funny. And like you guys probably think that there are purposefully humorous elements to those games, and there's not. But certainly with Borderlands, I'll give it to you that there are some I like to say lol moments.
Mega makes a valid point. Jordan mentioned like 15 games he finished, but he doesn't have time for Life is Strange 2. I know. Make time, Jordan. Make time.
I think you find I didn't finish Tomb Raider.
But in the time you played Tomb Raider, you could have finished Life is Strange 2 Episode 1.
Probably would have been time better spent.
Yeah. Give it a go. Then you can tell us all about it next time.
Sure. I'll do you a deal. If we play Resident Evil 4 to completion, I will play...
To completion?
Yeah, it's only 20 hours.
No, man, you have to play all of Life is Strange Season 1.
I've played it, except for like the last episode.
Exactly. The last episode is the most important part.
In my head canon, the story ends, that universe ends, when she knocks on the door.
Can you remember Richard... Can you remember Richard Hillman in Coronation Street? Pretty much he is the bad guy in Life is Strange.
Wait, who?
It's a guy from Coronation Street, Richard Hillman.
You don't know Coronation Street, Andre. You're not British.
No.
Yeah, not cool.
Is that a UK film?
Westlife and Coronation Street. Two
We're
staples.
educating. My childhood, that was. All right. Any other news stories?
Yeah,
PlayStation
PlayStation Classic. So they've announced it. They've announced the PlayStation Classic. It's basically what you'd expect it to be. I guess it's a mini version of PlayStation, which, for my money, is the best looking console of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any objections to that?
Well, as long as there's got some great games like Final Fantasy VIII and then the Tomb Raiders and Gran Turismo, and then I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night.
Which they don't, do they?
Yeah, so it's just we don't know. We don't know, Ben.
Oh, I thought that. Oh no. Which ones have they announced?
They've announced 5 games out of 20. I don't have them in hand. I think Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Wild Arms, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
What were the other ones?
I'm just glad we can play. We can finally play Final Fantasy 7 on a fucking anything.
At last, like that game's been marooned for years.
RR4. What's RR4?
Oh, Ridge Racer 4. That's really good.
Yeah.
So-
Jordan, what do you want on that? Because like I know you're a big PlayStation fanboy, so I would love to.
Kind of nothing because like
I don't think those games hold up.
Cooler. Is it Cooler World?
Cooler World is a game.
Yeah. Not Cooler Shaker. It's a rapper.
I think it's a weird thing, right? Like I don't think anybody's really gonna be buying this to play games.
No.
Like one of these games are not gonna hold up. They don't. Like this generation of games, very few of them hold up, and ideally you want to play them. They've been up-resed or via emulation. I think an interesting question will be, what are you actually getting with this, right? So assumedly, inside this cool-ass looking PlayStation is probably just a tiny little kind of motherboard which has an emulator on for PS1. I've got to assume that they're just feeding ROMs into this thing, and hopefully via that they can do some kind of non-native up-res and stuff. So like if I play a PS1 game on my 4K TV, I can make it look okay. If the art style kind of holds up anyway, I can smooth it out. I can stretch it out, and there'll be some graphical glitches and stuff like that. But obviously, this will be a bit more of a controlled environment, and they can have different settings for the different ROMs and whatever else. So I'm hoping that when we play these games, like Ridge Racer 4 is going to look fucked blown up on even a 1080 TV, let alone a 4K. But hopefully, if they do some emulation and smooth it over, it'll look okay. The other weird thing is that a lot of these games, like I said earlier, so Castlevania Symphony known as one of the best PlayStation 1 games, okay? That's coming out as a remaster next month. So would you assume that it's not going to be in this? There's nothing to say it necessarily won't. Obviously, Final Fantasy 7 is already available on PS4. It's coming to Switch soon, but they're also going to be on this. Metal Gear is a weird one. Like, obviously, that should be there. But Konami is such a wild card at the moment. Who knows if it actually will be. The controller is a big question mark as well. You've got the classic PlayStation controller there before they introduced the first DualShock. That does limit some games, not a lot. Most games you could use the D-pad with. Ape Escape is the only one I can think of which you literally couldn't play that old thing. So you're not going to get Ape Escape on, unfortunately. Metal Gear does have a lot of analog integration into it, so it'd be a little bit weird on an old school pad, but it's definitely doable. I just wonder what that wider list is going to look like, because it's just to get 20 games, and I just don't think they're going to end up being the agreed upon 20 best games for that were on
Rayman.
PlayStation.
Give me Rayman.
But do you associate like you might? But like,
I do. That was my first ever game.
Associate Rayman like Resident Evil 2. I think would be a good one considering you've got the remake coming out next year. But then that was a 2-disc game, so is that just one game they include on it, and they've got some weird disc switching function? I don't know. It's weird when you make that jump from the 16-bit era to the kind of 3D era. Things get fucking weird for the emulation becomes a lot harder. You could fit the entire SNES and NES library on the size of the hard drive that's going to be in this thing. And as much as emulation for PS1 is pretty much sorted at this point, there are still weird things that, like, I've emulated a lot of PS1 games, and sometimes it's weird, like graphical glitches and stuff, which I'm sure they'll iron all that stuff out, but it's a consideration, unless, like I said, they are literally just chucking the actual games on with no emulated improvement, which I just think is going to look fucked.
V Rally. Bring back V Rally.
I suppose it probably is going to be a different aspect ratio as well. Like, are these games going to be in widescreen?
Hope
Probably
so.
not. No, because that would just like kind of ruin the entire idea of it. It's supposed to feel like you're playing the old system.
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
but I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed people on like Christmas Day who plug it in and go, "Fuck, this looks terrible." I've
Yeah.
got this 55-inch screen and 2/3 of it are black bars.
Tell them to call me and be like, "Hey guys, you bought a fucking PlayStation 1. What did you expect?"
Yeah,
Bill says he wants old Jack
Just a
and
weird one.
Daxter. Jack and Daxter is the break. Yeah, that was PS2, wasn't it?
PS2.
That was PS2.
Yeah.
I'd be more interested in a PS2 classic. That'd be dope.
You can play Jack and Daxter on the PS4, and it runs really well. It holds up really well as well.
But then, like, if you look at a PS2 classic, then right, which if this one sells loads, you've got to assume it's going to happen. And again, very good looking console. Then you're talking about DVD size games. So you're talking like,
Yeah.
you know, it could go up to a couple of gig. Like, how do you make that? Like, this is already £100. I just think there's a lot of technical issues when you get into, especially like a PS2 generation.
Yeah, Mega bought bought an original PS1 2 weeks ago. Wow, it looks shit on my TV, but I still have the console out because it's beautiful. It is a good looking console.
Yeah, it's a very good looking console.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see how
Okay.
that one goes. I've got one on order.
Of course.
But I kind of want to cancel it because I'm literally just going to keep this in the box. I'm not that type of person who's like just has things to keep in the box. But I don't want to plug this into my TV. I can play everything on my PC from a PS1 perspective. And I think that the list of games is going to be disappointed. I think they should have done something where it comes with 20 games and it links into the PS4 marketplace and you can buy more.
Yeah.
Something weird like that, so they could at least update it as it goes. But at the end of the day, it's just a shitty stocking filler, isn't it? It just costs £100.
Yeah, but not you can't. Yeah, you can't. Can you play it on a PS1 controller? Can you plug your PS1 controller into your PC?
Well, this one that's coming with this.
No, but like you can play everything on the PC, but can you play it with a PS1 controller?
Let's play it with an Xbox controller.
Yeah, the best controller.
Yeah.
I think Xbox 360. No, yeah, the Xbox One controller. I have a beautiful one here. Is the best controller. Feels so good.
I'll up you on that one and say the Xbox Elite controller is the best controller.
Is that all the ones with little buttons on it everywhere?
Yeah, don't worry about them. Take those off.
Okay.
Just take those away. And it's just like obviously it fucking costs like twice probably probably more than where normal one is, but it's just such nice build quality and weight to it. And it's got a cool little D-pad, like circular D-pad, which I think really works well.
You can change.
Anyway.
Yeah, things around.
So I'm just going to quickly run through the stuff that was announced at the recent Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
A new Luigi's Mansion game was announced, which I thought was already announced. Apparently not. Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch.
Yay.
Please look forward to that.
Apparently that was a big thing. We weren't really excited about it, but some people are.
Well, I just feel like I thought they'd announced it.
No, they announced the 3DS playing the original or something, or that the original coming to the 3DS. That was their thing.
Yeah, I felt like the pop for a Luigi's Mansion game had happened, but maybe not.
My favorite thing is that looking at people who were really excited about it on the Switch forum, saying, "Oh my god, I thought it was more about the Switch thing," and it just showed how bad quality it looked. That people thought it was the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion 1 that was being shown.
And I'll also say this: Luigi's Mansion overrated. Nobody liked it at the time.
I liked it. I liked that game at the time.
It was a launch game, right?
Yeah. And I was like one of the kids who bought a GameCube very early on, so I had to fucking buy everything just because I had nothing.
And you have to pretend you like games that are not good.
And I had to pretend I liked them. Yeah.
Mario Sunshine, underrated.
Crystal Chronicles.
A couple of 3DS games that nobody's ever going to care about. New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is coming to Switch.
Yeah, that is a good game. Yeah.
Katamari Damacy is getting a Switch remaster.
That's a game
Never play
people.
a game that's that colourful.
Some of those hipster games that people like.
Andre, did you ever play Nobby Nobby Boy?
That was my nickname in high school. Nobby. Nobby called me Nobby.
Oh, this sounds good.
Why are you calling me a knob?
I never played it. Never played Nobby.
Obviously, they talked about the Nintendo online service, which we
Shit.
discussed earlier. I didn't really get to chip in on that, so I think it's such a weird way they've done it. Like, why is it just NES games for starters, right?
I fucking hate that.
And even the applet itself is themed around a NES, so that tells me that there's plans to roll out any more SNES games. So are they just increasing the library of NES games, which you quite rightly said earlier? For my money, there's no good fucking games there I want to play anyway.
There are none.
Maybe original Super Mario.
I started playing original Mario, but like it controls poorly because I'm so used to like modern day controls. I'm like, oh, and you can't re-button map, which is like a fucking travesty because the jump button's all fucked up on Mario 3. And I've died more times in Mario 3 because I forget what buttons to jump.
What's
Like,
the deal with Mario 3? Like, I thought that was a SNES game. Is it not?
It was re-released for the SNES, but it originally
right.
came out.
Play it there then.
Yeah,
Bill Paxton says, bring back Double Dash. Was that GameCube?
that was GameCube. Yeah,
Yeah, be a while
it was a
for
great
that
game
one.
too.
We're talking about the NES right now. But thanks for your
Did
enthusiasm.
it even have Mario Kart? Which was Mario Kart SNES? Is that the first one?
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, SNES.
Super Mario Kart.
So I can't like just using that app is pretty cool. Like the fact there's loads. It kind of looks like a Netflix, doesn't it? Which is like the holy grail of kind of where the service movement in games is supposed to be getting to. But the fact that it's named NES, I'm right in saying that, right? It is a NES app.
I mean, I think it's called Nintendo Entertainment. No, let me check. Keep talking.
NES app.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like Netflix. Like in a perfect world, I can see that, like the system that they've got, just having a massive catalog of.
Yeah, it's a NES app.
Yeah, so maybe they'll just change that when they come out with the SNES stuff. It just seems like a weird half step into this. I just want to play Link to the Past on my Switch.
Are you gonna get that?
That's all. That's literally all I want to. I want Super Mario World because that's the best fucking platformer ever made, and Link to the Past because I never got to play it.
Yeah. They announced they're basically NES controllers that plug into the side of your Switch, which is really weird.
They look really ugly when they're plugged into the side of your Switch.
And unusable by the looks of it. Like so they basically replace your Joy-Cons, right?
Yeah.
So imagine that plugged into each side of your screen. I don't understand. You wouldn't be able to play games with that. Like there's everybody making excuses for the D-pad. It's because they have to cater to people unplugging it and stuff. But they've just released controllers which a single player couldn't use. Does that make sense?
Yeah, shit. Don't buy them.
Okay.
Yeah, don't fucking waste your money.
No.
This one probably hasn't been talked about as much as I thought it would be. So Game Freak has announced a new app. So these are the Pokemon people.
Oh, RPG, yeah.
Town, right?
Yeah, but not Pokemon, obviously.
This looks good actually. It's only based in one town. Like the whole game is in one town.
Yeah.
You never leave
I
the
love
town.
that.
Seems suspiciously like Pokemon though.
Yeah.
There was definitely throwing of balls and like fighting animals and shit. So I would kind of maybe
Throwing
this is the new
balls,
Pokemon.
fighting animals.
That would be nuts.
Seems like a weird way to announce it.
What is it?
Like if it's a new Pokemon, they're just keeping it kind of under wraps, like code name town.
Yeah.
Maybe
it
it
comes out to be like.
So maybe they're working on a current gen Pokemon. I think maybe they won't make the brave kind of steps with that I at least want them to, and this is their kind of okay. Well, this is what we would kind of do if we did fuck around with Pokemon. Do you like it? Because then we'll do Pokemon.
Maybe it's a new Digimon game.
Shut
Yes,
up, Ben.
Everyone loves Digimon.
City Skylines at that time was coming, and I think it's already there now to Switch. Apparently, it's a travesty.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah.
Did you hear Laura K.
No
Dale
surprise.
talk about it?
Yeah, she said shit.
Yeah,
And,
she was like,
I think-
"Ooh."
to be fair to us, I think we called it during the stream. I think we both said that is not going to run very well.
No.
And it does.
So it looks nice, and then you kind of do anything with the game, and it just stutters into a mess.
Yeah. Obviously, we had the Final Fantasy announcements, which is cool. Oh shit, yeah, 12 as well,
Yeah.
which is really good, is coming. So if you're a Final Fantasy fan, I will totally play Final Fantasy 7 on my Switch just because I'm a fucking idiot. But I will
me
do
too.
that.
I hope it's the
Can't
one
wait.
that got remade where you can make it go faster. You can give yourself instant
That'll be
limit breaks
interesting,
and that.
actually, in terms of what versions we're going to get. I've got to assume that this Final Fantasy 7 will be pretty much the PS4 version,
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope.
which is the best version.
Yeah, double click
Um,
in your joysticks and get instant limit breaks and
Yeah.
healing
Really?
yourself. Yeah,
I kind of wish they would hide that a little bit more from me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
get tempted, you.
well, no, you could accidentally click the fucking button, and suddenly you go fucking Super Saiyan in the middle of a fight. It's a bit like like the most common button you're going to click on accident, 3 and R3, right?
Yeah.
And they've mapped superpowers to it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I only played for I only want to play it for the story, and I played that quite a bit, like for about 6-7 hours, maybe on the PS4 with those controls, and you still get really immersed, but you just don't have to grind for like half an hour between fights.
Yeah,
is nice.
And they announced that Isabel from Sing is coming.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit.
That was kind of a fake pop, because actually they then announced an Animal Crossing game for 2019.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
I'm also excited for Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, fuck yes.
They can keep just announcing random characters. They can announce like my uncle. Hey, your uncle is now on fucking Super Smash Bros. I'll be like, yeah.
Said he worked for Nintendo.
Ash's
that would
mom.
be really cool.
Yeah, you're
If they released the character named your
Is that
uncle.
what you were going for when you said that? Are you going to play Smash Brothers?
I'm going to. That's going to be like the one game I reserve this year and pick up.
Oh, I didn't know you were a Smash Bros. Kid.
I love Smash Brothers.
Yes.
I was so upset when I couldn't play the Wii U one because I just didn't fucking feel like buying a Wii U.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I bought a Wii U for it, then sold the Wii U like later. It was like, this is
Yeah.
sacrifice isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Having that fucking controller in my living room.
I just want to play Wind Waker. That's what I want to play on my.
Yeah, they need to bring that. Such a good game. Mega says Switch is getting a bunch of old games. Nothing new. Yeah, I mean, but they're...
That's fine. I want that.
Yeah, a lot of the...
We just said a new Smash Brothers. Thank you.
Yeah, no, this was before. Smash. What's new?
New
Smash.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, Pokemon's going to come.
New.
But Nintendo tends to be kind of its own... It releases its own games. It's not got games that just come for it, like third-party games that are released on launch, as some are. The Animal Crossing, that could be interesting. Be interesting. Is it Animal Crossing where they had the rolling pin game? Was that the last one? On
like
3DS.
the world is on like
Yeah.
a rolling pin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
Animal
was
Crossing.
New Leaf. Yeah.
I didn't like. I hate the
Probably
rolling
one
pin.
on the Wii.
That might not be the case with this one. Maybe
I wanna see what this
They'll go
looks
back
like.
to the GameCube kind of look.
I hope it's a segmented world. I love that because you could just like, it's so easy to like, you kind of remember what your town looks like just by like the grid system.
It's just,
like the
going to be so cool to see a fully fledged Animal Crossing era.
Yeah.
Because like playing that on GameCube was really cool, but kind of limited to the fact that your GameCube was connected to the internet. This will be. You can send me letters and fossils. And
I'm gonna
shit
send
like that,
a bunch of and
Right.
trash. Send you trash and pictures of myself.
Oh wait.
All right. Anything else?
No,
Is that
that's it. Let's call it. My food's ready.
All right. Time to go. Will we go?
All
We'll.
my food.
Oh, all those tacos and fajitas and things.
Now I'm gonna starve.
God. I made hot dogs for lunch. I'm so American.
You are American. That's just pig.
We're
lips
all
and
American
assholes.
now.
Yeah. Ugh.
We
Okay.
can only wish, right?
We'll be
Oh,
back.
and there's a new Death Stranding trailer as well. If anybody wants.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered to click on it.
God, that game. What is it? That's not coming out for another like 3 years, right?
Don't know. 2020 in it.
2020.
Is that what they said?
Which one do you think comes out first, Cyberpunk or that?
Probably Cyberpunk.
Yeah, damn.
Mr. Scott said Death Stranding supposedly 2019. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, and so is Metal Gear Solid 6.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
well,
hopefully a launch PS5 title.
I mean,
just people buying a PS5 just to see what that game is.
Yeah. Worth noting as well, we didn't talk about this. PSX cancelled. Sony is in full on fucking like strategy mode right now. I don't know if you've noticed this, but they are just like they literally said we have nothing to talk about for PSX, which like in another time you'd be like, oh, that's not good for a video game company to say that. You just know that they're like, yeah, well, we got our studios cranking on like in next gen games, and we ain't showing you shit, and we're gonna make it. I think hopefully they learned a bit from Nintendo in terms of what like a really strong launch, a couple of really strong launch first party titles can do to really kind of sell your console.
I can see PSX happening next year though. I think it's just cancelled for 1 year, isn't it?
They haven't said really, but like, yeah, I imagine they'll do a bespoke event for the announcement. Whether that's going, I don't think the PS4 was at PSX. It was just some random conference that they did.
Yeah.
And now you
makes
can go to the kind of funny thing or whatever.
Yeah, there's too many conferences anyway. Like,
Yeah.
like Nintendo is showing the way to do it. Direct fucking slay. Like, that is such a clever way to do. It's not even clever. It's the common sense way to do it.
Yeah.
Control your messaging. You know, imagine what a Sony Direct could look like.
Yeah.
All black and metallic and shit. Be awesome.
All right. Well, I think that's a good time to end the
High
podcast.
schoolers PowerPoint.
Stick around from the podcast. We're gonna do some BBW straight afterwards.
Fucking hell.
BiggusBennus Wrestling. Get your mind out of the gutter. We'll be doing that, but we'll be back for normal Click Click Play in 2 weeks. Next week will be Click Click Play Twitch special.
Twitch Play.
No, it's just Click Click Play.
Oh, you're fucking Brandon.
We did the brand split and then came back together. It's just like WWE.
Split.
Yeah.
All right, Vince.
All
Told ya.
right, Vince McMahon.
I'm
Have
leaving.
fun with your BBWs.
I'm sure Vince does. All right. Well, let's
Oh, God.
go.
You
Right.
can
Bye.
follow me at I'm a
He
make
loves
movie.
Linda.
Yeah.
He
How
would
do
never
we
do that.
find you? Andre? Go on. Promote yourself.
Find me at I'm a make movies on everything. I just won a contest. Go look at that video. I'm making
Yeah.
a new video now, and it's really good.
How many hits has your winning video had?
Yeah, probably like 100. Something super small. It's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, that's YouTube for you.
Yeah,
You need to start saying-
$1,000.
Do you start your videos with, "Hey, what's up? It's your boy. I'm gonna make movies. Hit that.
Coming
No.
to you live. Make sure you hit that
Subscription.
like button, subscribe button, and
Ring the
favorite
bell."
it.
Yeah.
Ring the bell. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not playing that YouTube game, guys. I make a video a month at this point.
Jordan, how do we follow you?
Drop me a tweet at ImmortanGeorge.
All right, there we go. Straight, easy. Okay,
Yeah.
straight and easy. That's Jordan. All right, I will catch you.
Okay, I don't mind.
So yeah, fair thing. Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Stick around. I'm not finishing the stream. Stick around.
Just fucking leave. Leave.